don't say that. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm. Just shake smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the key swing in the west wing of this mansion. What's happening? I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're trying to lay me on, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through.
I've been knowing you for a long time, shawty. Hello. Hi, you guys. 2 minutes, and I'm already on CP time. Dang, give me those 2 minutes. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are back. All of us are here in good cheer, good spirits. Hopefully, having a wonderful day to talk about all things Lestat, Akasha, Regina, so much. Armand, Gremlins, so much was happening in this episode, and we are happy to have you here to discuss it. When I say we, it's not just me, it's a whole group of us. Be sure to hit that like button and let us know your thoughts on our commentary down below and show love in the chat if you can. Not going to waste any time because we got stuff to talk about. Del, I'm going to come to you first. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you rating this episode?
Oh man, gotta start with me. All right. What's up, y'all? What's going on? I think I'm gonna give it a 7-8. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. We'll just split down the middle. I give this good episode a good 7.5.
Why? Elaborate.
Because we finally got Aaliyah and we got what I consider the best song of the season. So we finally got Akasha, got the best song of the season. That already puts this episode high for me. But it was a good episode. Even though these disparate storylines, like with Louis, that I'm just trying to care about, still trudge along. But the main meat of the episode, I was happy with.
C, I'm going to come to you next. How are you doing today? And what are you rating this episode and why?
I'm doing pretty good, y'all. Doing pretty good. Happy to be here. This episode, I'm not going to lie, was doing it for me for a little bit. Everything outside of the band drama was doing it for me. So I'm going to give this a 7.5, almost 7.8. 7.8. I'm feeling generous.
I'm gonna go last. Ashley, what about you? How are you feeling, first of all, and what are you rating this episode and why?
I feel good. Glad to be back. I'm glad to be back in the room. This is really, so for me, this is really going to be about, it's like a matter of preference and taste. And I think what you're wanting to get out of it. There were a lot of moments that I found myself rolling my eyes throughout this episode, but not due to the actors, right? I think everyone does a great job. I am excited to get into all that is Akasha and all of those things. I think it's doing what they wanted to. I think the show is accomplishing what the showrunner, the writers, all of them wanted to do. Personally, as far as for me and what I like and what I want to see in terms of just media consumption and how someone tells a story, it's just, this season just isn't for me. I just have to set it right there. A rating on a scale of 1 to 10, it was fine. A 7. Like I said, there are things, and I get it, right? Like I get the descent into chaos and madness. I get the awakening of things, the breaking down of things, seeing who these people are at their core through Lestat's lens. It's just not something I want to watch. It's just not something I personally want to watch. But again, that's not taking away from the people, the actors. They're doing what they do. it's just not my cup of tea this season. And I have to set it right there. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley. I am at the point now, like, we've reached a mute point where I've accepted the show for exactly what it is. My expectations from where they were, they've settled a bit. And I can give it a 6, I can give it a 6. I don't like the writing. I feel like this is a convoluted hot mess and I'm disappointed. But in the terms of the season so far, was this a better episode than what we've been getting? Yeah. And you can probably say that because stuff was actually happening. And if we're progressing the narrative forward, that's all you could ever really ask for in the show, and I hate to say it, I am at the point with this show where it's like beautiful gowns. It's beautiful gowns. The show is lovely to look at. All of my favorite people are here, yet and still. The acting, isn't subpar. That's all good. Everything that made this show likable, charming before, it's all still here. The pieces are here. They've just been moved around. And I'm just going to move with them. And I'm going to be happy about it. I can give it a strong 6. Beautiful gowns.
This is the highest rated season, y'all, on Rotten Tomatoes. Isn't that funny?
I saw that. Saw that.
Interesting.
They lied. Who trusts Rotten Tomatoes anymore? First of all,
it is not a coincidence that the more Black folks you add to this series, the better it is. Interview with the Vampire season 1 and 2 was great. Mm-hmm. Then you lightened it up this season, and it wasn't right. But the more melanin, the more magic. That's
what is this? Sent girl power 300 jewels. What is this? Is
girl,
this
it's the jewels. It's the new gifting they can do in the live chats, girl. They send rubies and jewels and gems and all kinds of things.
Why are they always trying to mess up the church's money? What is that? I can't put it on the so I can't put it on the screen. It's just jewels. Oh, well, thank you for the jewels, Danny. I appreciate them. I have no clue what that means. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, what? I thought it was a super sticker. I've been trying to put it on the screen for the past minute.
It's money though. It's money.
I love that. They just always want to be current so bad. Let's just be old and be YouTube, please, please. Lord, I want to get over there on TikTok so bad and send little jewels and little hats and little gifts and gadgets. But starting with the episode and why I'm just it's not all coming together for me. It's so disjointed as a season for me. This part here is alarming because, baby, we should be caring. We should be caring so much. Lestat is trying to find his sound in this episode. He's back to being insufferable, literally the composer, that psycho who is just so technical and litigious about every little aspect of his music with this new album. We kind of gloss over him faking his death a little bit. We acknowledge it. He got shot down last episode. And to anybody who cares, he's went underground, he's deaded, and then we're just gonna reemerge with this album or get with the great. I don't know what the plan is overall, but we spent majority of this episode a lot with him just on this band's neck in every single way possible. Well, you got to have that vampire ear, a certain ting. Your drum shouldn't sound like a drum. Pick it up, tempo down, all of that. And he's just going and going and going. But it's not so much just the band and how poorly they're playing. It's really because this is supposed to be a Lestat concept album that's just the antithesis of who he is. He doesn't even know who he is, though. He's so lost and bent out of shape, and we see that more than ever just in who's frequenting the studio that are not in this band, all of the muses and whatnot. But a lot of this episode, especially the end when we get the gremlin, it harbors on how much we care about this album and this band overall and the members here. And I just could give a damn when I really, really want to. Ashley, how did you feel about Lestat, the composer, and him faking his death?
I mean, the man said, kill shot, kill shot, kill shot. You're not, because he's a vampire. They're trying to eliminate us. I actually thought that was fun watching that back. So, I mean, I think this is all par for the course. I think we're also kind of looking into, especially when we see what happens at the end with the band, like, what is your soul worth? And I kind of like that. Like, I like that as a commentary or a discussion to have around, is fame worth your soul? How much will you pay to like arrive or to like finish this thing? And that's strictly on the human side of this. As far as Lestat, like, I don't know. It feels so morbid to watch this season and watch him just devolve so heavily episode after episode after episode. It just feels like it gets worse and worse and worse. And right now, in this hot girl summer of mine, I'm sick of seeing Lestat broken. And every step of the way, I see him broken. I don't see healing. I see him further descending into the abyss. And I think this is just fully a reminder of it. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, there's discussion to be had around the band, around him, about what he's willing to do, about what this new direction of the album is going to mean for him, what that moment when he did get pow-powed, how that affected him. Because when you look at his face afterwards and him touching the blood and going through all these things in the mix of the tour bus, it's like, oh, okay, he's being faced with something. There's some foreshadowing. This is ultimately going to end in tragedy. And I think I'm just hedging my bets and just like bracing myself. I will say the standout thing for me was Sam. I love him so bad. And I was happy to see he's mixing and mastering the album. But I mean, this is Lestat. We're going to get there. I think by the time he finds his new sound at the behest of Gabriella, I was on board with it. But like I said, I do enjoy the conversation around this band and what they're willing to sacrifice for what they perceive as fame. But that's all I got for it.
Thunder Goddess, thank you so much for the jewels. This is sending me the finger heart jewel. Thank you so much. Let me see Dane here. Y'all think it's time for Louis to put on a list? What list?
To be put on a list. Like
absolutely. Put his ass on the list. Put him on the list immediately. He needs to be committed. He needs to be held, and he needs to be evaluated. Absolutely. That list. I thought you were talking about another one. Dom, how did you feel about him faking this death? You know, we got some fanfare. We were on the street. The public is really feeling it all the while we're down here with this album. We also got some time with Sam over here. I just can't take Lestat serious and how he tries to be on Sam's neck like you need to repent for you being down there in the vampire. You were there. You came across the ocean to be down there. How are you placing judgment on his participation in that? Please go sit down. Dom?
The dynamic between Lestat and Sam, I don't care. I don't care, and I'm not invested in Lestat's ire towards him. I don't buy it. I'm just not interested in it. It's not that I don't buy it. I'm just not interested in it. The faking of the death, I feel like Ashley said, I feel like we kind of just glossed over it. Like the fact that he's underground and he's obviously going to make some grand reveal at this in memoriam concert. Like that seems like, well, to me it seems like, and throughout this season I feel like we should have gotten more of an emphasis or just more of an insight of how the world reacts, because we know, I mean, we've gotten commentary along the way that they're not that big and they just started playing over 1,000 people venues. But the fact that he got shot and died to the public, how did that affect their notoriety? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to see the people, like that should have made them more popular. A halfway decent band, you know, the lead singer gets murdered. That should, you know, everybody's music pops after somebody die. And then he also is trying to be like Michael Jackson with the orchestrating instruments. Like, I can't, like, you got to play the instrument this way and I got to feel it, and I'm just trying to express. You have to play my feeling, and I have to, and that was how Michael Jackson was talking in This Is It documentary. And I'm like, Lestat, you're not Mike, and you're not Prince.
I thought it was
Well, yeah, and it made
really
it made a little,
Prince. You think he
It may
Fred?
be a little Princey too, because Prince could actually play the instrument, and so can Lestat. So it might be a little bit on the Prince side, but just the demanding and the way he was like, it's a drum beat and it's my heart. That's how Mike was like. He was like, I just gotta feel it. I just gotta feel the timing. I'm like, all right, all right. And so I just feel like this should be a more significant thing, especially if you're gonna make it a big thing later on with this reveal. So I just felt like we was moving past it really fast. The the redo of the album, the new album, makes sense because this is all an emotional journey for Lestat, and Lestat has been up and down this entire time. And so the fact that the music and the tone and the cadence and the even the genre in some sense is changing along with his development, I think is a cool storytelling element of like charting his progress. So that was fine. I like that. I just did, like Ashley said, most of the band stuff I didn't care about, but that aspect of it is that in the band and his musical journey is interesting. Just the rest of these characters I don't really care about.
Hmm. See, what about you? And did you feel in any way, since this is like him discovering his it's almost like an awakening at this point, and all of the other music that we've gotten so far was supposed to be ass. That's what it gave. Like that was my most inauthentic self, and I'm really trying to get into the root of who I am and make better music. And yeah, one band, one sound kind of energy. I was like, well, I should hope that's maybe where we're going, because between Big Boss and what was the song? No, what was the song last episode?
Yeah, I think it was Big Boss or something like Boss Man or something.
Whichever one he sung to Armand, and the song we were getting here, it was the music was so bad. I was like, damn, this is bad. See?
Uh-huh. It is, the music ain't getting any better. I got I got a couple thoughts. I do want to say two things. One, Lestat is wearing that robe, child. I want that robe right now. Look at the waist, clenched, shoulder pads on, looking great. And also, I, I want so badly to care about this band, but every time I see them, it's just like, all right, when are we getting back to the characters that we actually do care about? And him making this horrible music is, and I'm hoping that in the coming episodes, due to this, epiphany that he wants to rearrange the album. And I'm hoping that the music gets better. But it's listening to him like scream and sounding like Yoko, what's her name, Uno from that woman and her like experimental album. It's horrible. And it hurts my ears and it hurts my soul, because Lestat is really he's really attempting to pour out his emotions into these songs, right? But it just isn't translating for me. And we'll see where he goes with it. I'm hoping for a complete shift in tone, because it's not given, and I don't care about the band.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the songs, baby, the theme song in the opening is gonna eat down every time. I'm gonna sing every time. Like some of the songs are good, but for whatever reason, from the first episode to now, it seems like the music has gotten progressively worse. And at first I thought it was me not, receiving the music. But I do remember us all kind of agreeing when he first sung the ballad with Gabriella in the Italian restaurant. It was like, okay, well, I think that this is you. And it feels like we're getting there. So I was like, yeah, it wasn't us. It was actually bad.
Except for the loneliness. The loneliness is a banger. I stand on that hill.
Well, yeah, several of them are really good, but I was like, it's not just us, y'all. It's not good, but I don't think it's supposed to be good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Lestat asks, "Why did you send me to the witch's place?" The producer said, "What?" And I enjoy all those cheeky moments where Lestat will make a reference from he's just so old. And it's like, what? Like we don't even know what you're referring to. But yeah, I wanted to make sure. I was like, am I missing something? Because I don't care about the band, and I know that they want us to. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't miss anything. But the band wasn't just in the studio. We also had the haunting muses there. Nikki, you gonna piss me off every time. Like Nikki even like, oh, I just want Nikki to go away. I want Nikki to go away so bad. The way Lestat was belting over Nikki, like he was just. It's so, and that's probably a poor word, but so much of this here is just so over the top and performative. and that sounds redundant to say when it comes to Lestat, but it's just like, don't you see me screaming? I'm persevering against adverse. Like, if you don't shut up,
Yeah.
shut up, like you're hurting my ear. But it wasn't just, Nikki being Nikki. Little Lestat was there, later who we'll get to, child. Claudia was there. Oh, OG Louis was there, and it's just like he's overcoming, and I'm like, well, you have these muses who are the inspiration for all this music, but it's also kind of blocking, I guess, who you truly are artistically, and you're trying to cipher through that and get to what your music and yourself really sounds like. But to have them just here kind of lingering, I was like, man, I really wish we could have got Little Lestat in the flag. I wanted to go back to the monastery. I want like, those moments, but just for them to be here in this capacity and him being buried, and I have to like dig my way out and get to my true self. It's just so like, okay, we get it. And it gets worse for me the longer that we stay here. Y'all could really lock Nikki away back in that box that y'all was keeping him in, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
Ashley.
Yeah, I think the thing that kind of throws me the most is that there's so much over talking, and I know it's an artistic choice, but when there's conversations going on and then you have his narration very loudly over this weird rhythmic situation going on in the background and all these other conversations, it's like maddening. And I get it. Like, I get it as like a device, right? Because we're supposed to be feeling what Lestat is feeling, and he's literally unraveling. I don't think this is going to let up. I think we're going to see more as it goes on, more of the hauntings, more of the muses, and there's something to be said of it. I really just wish we could go deeper with it. Like, I really felt like the whole Nikki stat was very superficial, was very dry, was very empty. I feel like him as a youth was very dry, was very empty, was very superficial. And when because we see some of the monks at one point during one of those flashbacks, I said, oh, maybe we're going to sit here for a second. And it's like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Then we have the teenage girls. We're flashing back to these places Gabriella took him that he had no business going. And I'm like, oh, are we going to sit with this for a minute? Are we going to find out about these teenage girls being burnt at the stake? Like, are we going to really sit with that at all? And it was like, yeah, no, this is just all to show his maddening. And it's like, at this point, we're 5 episodes in. I get it, baby. He's broken and he's unraveling at every minute. But there's got to be more to it. I feel like there's something deeper beneath, and I would love it. I would love to see a deep connection in the relationship between him and his younger self, and maybe healing a part of that, or maybe even descending more into chaos with his younger self. But you finishing the Aquinas poem, that didn't do anything for me. And that baby chia, like we get it. You stuttered, Lestat. Like, I think I'm just used to so much more depth, and a lot of this just seems so surface. And I feel like there's room to go deeper. Like, I feel like we have the space, we have the time. And we could press in a little bit. We get Louis, honey. We get him. We how many times we have to see you dropping him from outer space? We get it, Bookie Butt. I think there's more that we could use, right? Rather than just seeing flashes of his past every second. Let's dive a little bit deeper. For me, that's what I would want to see.
Yeah, she said, you.
I was like, okay.
These are horrible musicians. And just from an artistic standpoint, because if my lead singer just spaces out in a session and then just starts reciting a philosophical poem or stanza or quants or whatever you call it, I'm dropping a beat after that. Like, that's a great intro. Like, that's the intro right before somebody says, allow me to reintroduce. Like, that's a great thing that I'm cutting and recording. But he was like, what? That's not what we rehearsed. And it was just, I'm like, that was irritating. Because I just knew that was about to be part of a song, but it wasn't. Nikki is irritating. And I think now seeing Nikki pop up as a ghost is irritating because Nikki's backstory, when we finally got to see Nikki, it was unfulfilling and unsatisfactory. Like, if this was supposed to be his first love, and this is the first love that's haunted him throughout the centuries. When we finally saw Nikki, I was like, it wasn't. All right, I had deeper love in high school. Like, it wasn't that crazy. So now every time he pops up, I'm like, I don't care. I don't feel the connection, and now you're just annoying. The scene of him doing the numbers over Lestat and going the back and forth, I did like that. I like that. It was well executed, well acted. I felt the energy, but that was more a testament to them acting than the actual scene. Like they acting really well and they doing their thing, but it's just one scene. Like each scene is so well acted and well executed, but they're not coming together to make a show and a story that I really care about. But and I wish it did because these people need some Emmys. They need to be Emmys all through this show, but it won't be because the show's not good. It's just not good. I don't need to see this little blonde wig ever again. I don't care about the stuttering little boy because we've seen like three. I don't know this little boy. Like we saw one that quick episode we had at the dinner table. The whole episode took place at the dinner table was not enough for me to care about little boy Lestat. And so just this whole scene was well acted, and I don't care. He was like Scrooge. It was like Christmas past, Christmas past, Christmas past of all these people showing up, and I was like, all right, cool, but what else? What else we gonna do? It was fine, but I was ready to move on. I was like, can we skip? But I knew we had to talk about it, so I didn't skip it. But I really wanted if we wasn't gonna talk about it, I was gonna skip it.
Well, no, because somebody's gonna hear what you said and go, "Well, of course he's annoying." Nikki naturally, as a reflection in the stat mind, should be annoying because he's so tormented because he feels like he let Nikki down. But it's like, yeah, you presented Nikki in a very trash way, in my opinion. And let me read this comment because I think it says it, better than I ever could. Thank you so much for the super chat. The pacing is too fast for the flashbacks. The characters like Nikki needed some time to breathe, to understand the dynamic. We spent way too much time with his nasty mama. Absolutely. Absolutely. We needed space and time for baby Lestat, even for OG Louis. I would love to see, because we get it. We feel it just because they're great actors. But if we could have saw like the other side way back when in New Orleans and what he was thinking versus what Louis was feeling or whatever, and even all the way down to Nikki, we're not presenting it correctly because for whatever reason, this show wants Lestat's mama to be the only real true obstacle that he needs to overcome. Like she's there. She's the muse, the obstacle, the everything there actively in the flesh all the time. See?
I love seeing old school Louis again, just on the screen. He does it for me every time. But I feel like the word for the show needs to be time, right? There's not given enough time to the things that they're trying to build. And I say that with caution because in the books, Louis and Armand and all the characters that we love don't have as big of a presence as they do in the series. So I'm hoping that if this ever gets to the writers or the creators of the show, that they don't interpret it as we need to remove these characters, because the characters that we know and love bring more interest to the show, at least in my opinion, right? And I feel like a lot of the fans feel that way. My concern is that because there's only 7 episodes, and because they're splitting time in between all of these characters, that they're going to say, okay, well, maybe we should run more true to the books and eliminate some of these other characters that we all grown to love. I think that would be a mistake. I think that if anything, we need to just add a couple more episodes if we can, streamline a couple of these narratives, particularly with Gabrielle and a couple other things that could be cut short. But I see the potential. Like I said in the last episode, I appreciate the story of Nikki. I think that what little bit of scenes he got, he did what he could with what he got. Right. I was feeling it. Right. I feel like if we were to get more of this, people would be more invested, but there just isn't enough time. So I don't know what they can do, but I wanted to flatly say and firmly say the answer isn't to get rid of Claudia and Louis and all of that. We love those characters, so we want more of them, but we also would like a full story, right? And
I don't.
Yeah.
what is? I'm not talking to you. See, I'm talking to these kids. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Both.
But yeah, I love seeing I for one, I like seeing him kind of battling against his mania in this way. I think that it would be more effective again if we had more time with these other versions of him and these other characters. But I think it's good visual storytelling, and yeah, my only critique is the time issue. We need more time with these characters.
And I don't even. I don't know. I feel like they're wasting time because it's not like she popped up as soon as I said wasting time. It's not like you guys haven't done, more with less. You know how to write. And it was never an issue of feeling lost or convoluted or that we were spending so much time with one character or not the other. There was a really great balance in all of that. And we've even seen them execute it well in season 2, where Lestat was just kind of obsolete for a long time. And we introduced a gazillion, new characters that we didn't know, but it all, flowed and transcended really, really well. This here is just like annoying my soul. And I get that she's in the book. I get that she's a really, big part of why Lestat is the way he is. But just like Ashley was saying, when we got to the flashback that we keep, mentioning and the witches, and I was like, okay. And then like before you could even blink and take it in, we're gone. They don't really care to invest time there. It always seems like a part of Lestat is battling the Gabriella he's presented with who his mother actually was. Because, like, you were actually a terrible mother. It's like, yeah, I was. I was awful. But he still finds time to admire, sexualize, romanticize her in the sense of a partner, in the sense of a great person. I don't care what Nikki over there babbling about, baby. This was the first love. This was the only love, the true love, up until the point that he met Louis, as far as I'm concerned. But it seems like they want us to feel like he's having an internal battle with who she is and how much he wants to prove himself. Because we turned the whole tour bus around just at the behest of her and what she wants. And this is speaking to the fans, and you need to continue on. And now she's in here acting as a mom midger. If you want to call it that, she's replacing Christina from what we're hearing, and she's giving her 2 cents. And it's like, always constantly, so why did you leave? And she always gives an answer in her way, but pretty vague. But it's like, you were never going to be enough for me, like, and you didn't need me and I didn't need you, so why would I stay? Because we found out in this episode, once he gets dug up, you went underground for 80 plus years, all because this heifer walked away from you. Like, you've been really, really hurt, and even now you revert right back to why did you leave me? Like, why do you keep disappearing? It's just so unfinished and incomplete. And I don't really know where Lestat kind of hangs in the balance. It feels like it's something that he's noticing, maybe her shortcomings, as a mother, how she's impacted him in the worst way before they ever, returned. But he also longs and lusts and needs her. I'm really trying to get into it, but I have a hard time because we spend valuable time on her that I don't mind. It's only that we spend that much time expressing things for her that we already know. And it's always on a smidge of the sexual, gazing into each other's eyes. Like, that's cute, really not. But I would really have preferred to see, the burning of those witches and the impact, and get more into her ideology as just a person, woman, mother, if you will, instead of just, her sexual prowess. Like, I really could give a damn. See, I'm gonna come to you first.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. She's every time I see her on screen, it just makes me want to throw up a little bit on the back of my throat. And to see how codependent he is on her still is very sad. And it's like I said, the last episode, I feel like Lestat, all of these 300 years he's had on this earth, he still hasn't put in the work to adjust this codependency here. Yeah, she's just too much. I really wish that he would have the same strength that he wants Louis to have with, Claudia. I wish he would have that with his own mother, because she's hurting him. And it's sad to see. I want more for you, Lestat. One more for you.
Oh, dumb.
I'm so confused about this show because I feel like this show has a lot of good components and technically could have had enough time if they just had to do 7 episodes, because we just can't tell a story longer than 7 episodes. Even if you want to have that constraint, I feel like we had enough time. It's just the usage of the time seems weird to me. I don't because especially with this episode with Akasha showing up, we get to see their dynamic. To me, if you would have just had this season be Lestat and his relationship with mother figures, and we gradually introduce his relationship with his actual mother, and we parallel that with the mother who found him, and we just jump back and forth to how those two experiences shaped him, and we can get rid of the band, we can get rid of all this other stuff, and I felt like that would have been a more interesting way to kind of approach it, but we just keep hop skipping around. And then you could have had a parental through line through this whole season if you still can have Louis dealing with his what is this girl's name? I now want to say Regina because that's the real girl's name, but Claudia. And so you still have a parental dynamic with Claudia and Louis, and the idea of the parent who lost their child and dealing with that grief, even though it's been centuries and you still haven't dealt with that grief. Fine, but you could have been a very clear parallel that we could have been following, and it would have been really interesting. And like I said, but we just had to hopscotch all over the place and add all of these things. And that's where I think sometimes trying to be too close to the book, I think hurts a show, because it's like we're pulling into too many different directions. It's like I got 3 writers over here who got these really cool ideas, and then 3 writers over here who also have really cool ideas but really want to put these elements from the book in here. And it's like we trying to fit all these ideas from this writer's room into this 7 episode show. And now I got whiplash because I'm not along for the ride. I don't care. And what was the point of these Detroit vampires? What was the point of killing Bruce? Like, what with all of these side plots we went on, and we got 2 episodes where I feel like I'm supposed to have closure. I don't. I want to care about the mom, but I don't. And there's only so many backshots she can have that I can see, sit through.
No.
Is and I care about this dynamic. I want to care about this dynamic, but I don't, because y'all dangle it in front of me for an episode, and then we move on to something else, and then you just show me that they have a really weird toxic sexual relationship, but you don't give me any more meat to that. And so it's just like we're checking off a bunch of boxes. It's like they had an outline. It checked off a bunch of boxes with these scenes, but we just forgot the yarn to connect them. And I don't feel anything. Like when this season's gonna be done, and now we have 3 seasons in this world, and we have to do another, or we feel like you want to do a marathon. Watching first season, second season, and then jump into this. This is gonna feel weird. This is gonna feel weird. It's not gonna feel natural, and it's probably gonna feel unnecessary. So I'm moving on.
Ashley.
So, I mean, outside of the cracking session, because you need me now, don't you, mama? Like, y'all love it though. And the people love it and they want to do it, and they've been doing it all this time. So finally you just got to kind of see it. Let me take this Lestat D, I guess. But outside of that, what I wasn't mad at was that we did get a moment, a flashback of her where she's talking about, like not wanting to be a mama and not wanting to be a woman and not wanting to be this, but they stayed there for 2 seconds and then we were out of there. I think that's the part of Gabriella that we want to explore. Why was she so broken? How did she get to that place? And I know the book dives into her backstory. I think that would have lent itself very well into telling a story of Gabriella, this abuser to her own child, who's really apathetic and a master manipulator. How do we get here? What's that journey? And even in 7 seasons, they had time. They have wasted so much time this season with frivolity in my book that they had time to go back here and do some things to tighten this up a bit. But what I will say and what I enjoyed about it, and there's not much I'm ever going to enjoy about their dynamic, there is a point in the episode where Lestat says, "You were a terrible mother. You were terrible to me. You touched me after the wolf attack. You did this, you did this, you did this. Like, why am I here?" And I liked Lestat finally having that conversation with himself and this awareness of who she is. And then if you juxtapose that, the relationship with her to then Louis later in the episode, I was shot in the streets and you didn't even call me. It makes so much more sense to the psyche of why Lestat has chosen the men that he's chosen over these years, but y'all aren't pushing into that. That's like a tinge of it. Like, you have to really use your mind to get there because it's not really laid out well for you, in my mind, in terms of storytelling. Again, I think a lot of people never get the opportunity to confront their abuser. Now, what he did with that, cracking her after that confession, get twisted. But I think it speaks more to the dynamic and the nature. And I would have been more interested in having those conversations, that awareness. Like, yeah, you took me here and this, and I didn't understand it, and I felt broken, and then you touched me that way, and I didn't get that. And Mom, why didn't you want to be a woman or a mother or whatever? Why can't we have those conversations? Like, and it makes me question, like, did the writer's room not think the audience was willing to have a conversation around that? Because I think that lends itself to real discourse around abuse, around familial abuse, around incest and all of those things. But again, they still just, they went for the salacious. And I think there was a lot of meat there to kind of dive into. This is completely, clearly framed everything and every piece of Lestat and who he is. And then not only that, but let me use your song and your music as an anthem for the Great Conversion. I need something for the Vamps, Lestat. Of course, Mom, we'll do it. I'll get in the studio right now and I'll write a song for them, and it'll aid in this terrible plan that makes no sense for the vampire race, period. There's a lot that could have been done here, and I just feel like a lot was left on the table, in my opinion.
You know, I just want to know how she was able to cut her hair into this bob and it didn't grow. I am really intrigued by the bob of it all. I want to know that. I did a little search. It seems like we wanted full autonomy in an identity, pants and a ponytail and a braid, and being very almost male-centered and male identified in her presentation. And intelligent. I'm not getting that in the show from her. I don't know. Thank you so much, Mona the Goddess, for the jewels. Thank you. Let me read this super chat here. Let's see. Hopefully, the increased views will earn season 4. They wasted all that money on the White Walker and Mayfair witches. Coulda did more. But like, there's money on the table here, y'all. There's money here. There's money here. When we did a whole video session of the effects and burning and Big Boss, and again, because my mom, he really pushes it after this. Like, oh, you need me now. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, do I get your approval now? Do you need me? Do you want me? Are you gonna call me like you said you would? It's a whole Switch song, and he goes out there, baby. The special effects are giving. There's some money spent here. The story is
it ain't that much money spent here. We going from one hallway to one soundstage. Like and every outside shot at CGI. We can't go nowhere real. We've been in every soundstage in Vancouver.
Even in Nolan's, we've done a lot with a little with this show. This is not, we ain't on them Game of Thrones streets and then like that. This is not HBO, honey. This is AMC. We own them backlots, but they always do. That was never the draw here, even though the show's always, been beautifully, directed in the the draw was the story and the acting. That's what kept us here. And y'all took away one and kept the other. Don't do that. We're fans. We're fans. Oh, but like, leaving this and getting over here. Okay.
My baby.
Daddy Lou. Lou. Lou, baby, sweetie pie, honey. No, no. When we panned that camera over, I was already taking a I already knew what we were doing here. We're trying to recapture and relive these glory days for hire. Still playing a horde to live and talk to you, huh, Louis? Daniel, where are you when I need you so you can read him? Yellow dress be damned. Fine, Daddy Lou. Nolans accent they were trying to push be damned. When we panned that camera over and it was that fake Madeline, I fell out. She said, I'm playing a part. Baby, I studied. Okay, I read, theater kid be damned. I even brought, that wig was sitting. So I even brought a fake Madeline. Baby, when they kissed, he said, okay, that's a tad too far. The fantasy was broken. You really didn't have to hire her ass. I really just wanted to be you and me and you. You didn't have to bring her. You didn't have to bring her. She's like, but she keeps breaking the fantasy. She's just like, like she's good, right? Right? It's like, oh, girl.
Yeah.
I paid you. I paid a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on you, Diamond. I paid you for a certain act, scene 2, page 12 of the book. And you kind of breaking it up. This shows how be damned this psyche is broken. Poor Louis. This is doing more damage than him going to break down Bruce ever could. Visually, that was fun. Us going down and committing crimes. We love that, Louis. But this here and how far he's gone, we knew it was coming, but just to see him go through the motions this hard to try to course correct something that he never could because you're this tortured and torn is crazy. This is wild. Ashley?
Ain't no poor Daddy Lou. Louis is a lunatic. Louis needs to be committed when the gremlin, and I don't believe much the gremlin ever says because the gremlin's still a gremlin at the end of the day. But when he said, oh, I ain't got nothing on Louis. Louis is the most cold, calculated son of a gun there ever was. No, we don't feel bad for Louis. Louis is selfish as hell, and he's going down the same Claudia path he went down before. He gets no grace, as fine as he is, sitting there making that girl call him Daddy Lou and going on the rowboat in the middle. I said, if you don't take your ass out of that diner and leave that girl alone, Louis, he's sick and twisted. And at one point, when she is tongue kissing Madeline, I said, what do you want from this, Louis? Where's the little stand-in gremlin then? If we're doing double dates again with Claudia and Madeline and you and Armand, where's your little Armand stand-in? Like, Louis must be stopped. This is sick. And I mean, he's using her as a puppet, like that rag doll, like that teddy bear he used Claudia as when he got her changed. I see this just in another way with this girl. Now, this girl is crazy and unhinged her own self. I'm dreading he's going to turn her, y'all. We saw everything go down. We see the warnings he's gotten. Louis is not going to stop playing this game. He's excited to see all of these acts played out. He's getting to relive it like, oh, my, I'm getting to make this all up because, I kind of finally maybe took a piece of accountability for something I did a long time ago out of my selfishness, yet I'm still being selfish. He's still the same person he always was. It's no poor Louis. It's not no woe is Louis. Louis knows full well what the hell he is doing, and I can't wait to see how the hell C is going to come and defend her client tonight because he should be locked up. He needs to be in the vampire dungeon. He needs to be back in coffin with those stones. He needs to be in ground like damn Lestat was. Or damn near Akasha, and then put him in stone somewhere. Louis does not need to be operating in the damn free world. Talking about we own the night. Sir, you don't even own your own mind. At this point, you are unraveling. And I love Louis. I love a good Louis moment. I love it when he's back. I love that in him. But this is cuckoo for damn Cocoa Puffs. What are you getting out of this? And she don't like you, Louis. You offered that girl $100,000. She said, all right, I guess I could. It's weird. How much time I got to spend with you? Like, she don't like you, Louis. She is not Claudia. She is not your daughter. You're never going to make it back. You did it. You killed Claudia. You ruined her vampire life. Suck it up, Buttercup. I'm over him. Get him out of here.
Actually, we discussed this last week. I said there's only so many ways for this to go. Either you turn her, or something tragic happens, or she takes her money and gets the hell out of Dodge and gets away from your delusion. It's the poor me on the little boat for me. When he's like, well, you don't have to use you don't have to do the pigtails. Like, no, I'm giving you what you want. Oh my god! Then she breaks the fantasy immediately. Oh my god! Like, you can do that? Do it to me. Freeze me. And he freezes her, and it's like. I say, Louis, get the Louis, please, Louis. See, I'm gonna let you go because I know you can't contain it.
Because listen, Louis is over 100 years old, right? What is he doing that's that odd? This is his therapy. He's reliving traumatic. You know what would be interesting for me to see if he goes so far as to reenact the theater scene where Claudia dies. If he changes it to save her, I would be interested to see if he were to do that. Because at the end of the day, this is essentially his therapy. Even in therapy, they have you reenact traumatic moments in order to empower yourself, right? And this is essentially what he's doing. I might add, with a consenting adult. She's well into her 20s. She's game for the cause. And what is he doing that's so wrong? We got men on this earth right now, only been alive for not even 100 years. They doing way freaky and nasty and stuff than Louis. Okay, let's keep it there.
See, please.
Louis is doing the work, right? He's having hard conversations with himself, like Armand, and he's. I don't feel as if he's really hurting anyone at this point. Now, there was a point in the episode when fake Claudia and fake Madeline were getting a little too freaky, and he was looking like he ain't into it, right? Because they were doing their OnlyFans thing. They had to, reel it back. And I was concerned that he was about to just snap necks right there. I was like, oh God, Louis, please hold it together. Do not kill these.
Wait. See, what if she says, I got enough money, I'm kind of done with this, I want to go, and he doesn't want her to? Then what?
I think the Louis that I know and love will let her go, right? I feel like he would let her go. But I don't feel like this is Regina. I don't think that she's going to do that. She's in it for the money.
Louis, you mean get in my corner and make my money, Louis?
Yeah, I don't feel like he really hasn't overstepped at this point. At this point, again, it's still a contract or an agreement between two consenting adults.
She does not know what she's in for, see, and have we forgotten how obsessive he can be when he gets his mind on a thing? This is a recipe for disaster. That Pearl girl has no idea what she's in for with Louis.
She got the book. She read it. She read the book.
No,
she read it. She know what's good. And honestly, what she's getting $500,000 with no experience and no credentials. She better just take what she can get at this point, Your Honor. Come on now.
The way he is acting like Myron outside the Players Club, we were already stalking last episode. That was enough. The moment his delusion is so far at this point. Like, is it her? Like, maybe if I go bite her and change her, it'll be her, and we could be a family. He's crazy. See, he ain't working out no traumas. He's reliving them because
lunatic.
He's crazy.
I don't think he's all the way there. This is his sister. His daughter.
See, Louis is just charming, and you don't realize that he's Buffalo Bill. He 2 steps away from she puts the lotion in the basket. He 2 steps
away. Lord. Keep in mind, I said this last episode, the way Lestat was stalking Louis, and Louis didn't even want to be turned. He still turned him by force and snatched him out the church and turned him. Nobody said poor Louis. Nobody said, oh, he's just the innocent.
No. My boo has enough problems over there in this whole episode overcoming his raggedy ass mama. This don't have nothing to do with Lestat. Nothing. Louis had a raggedy mama too. Louis had a raggedy mama into this to try to validate this broken hypocrite.
Louis had a raggedy mama too, and he ain't out there doing this anymore.
See, going back.
Dumb.
Louis has always been selfish. He admits it in this episode. Louis has always been obsessive. Louis has always been possessive. And with Louis and people with that face, he's always put his needs over theirs. When the idea of turning Claudia was a selfish act. And then he was possessive after that. He wouldn't let Claudia do this. He wouldn't let Claudia do that. Claudia had to run away and then come back because of Louis. Because of Louis. And now Louis heartbroken. Louis depressed. Louis being haunted by the face. And he got unlimited resources. No. He finna go wild. And it is probably I want to know if he'll start hallucinating. I wonder if she'll start doing reenactments, but he starts hearing stuff that she didn't say, and she hears him like ask this time. Like first time he turned her, it was about sports.
I want to be a vampire so we could be a family, Daddy Lou.
Yeah. But in real life, she's screaming and being like, no, but he's turning her thinking that she wants it. Like, boy, I can see it now. And or the other thing I can see is either Armand or Lestat killing her and really like sending her away, but like making Louis think that she's dead, and then Louis goes buck wild. Louis gonna go buck wild and do something stupid. But either way, Louis ain't wrapped tight, and he really ain't wrapped at all. It's all look that face ain't got no screws in it. He's over with, and I got no problem with Regina because she already on OF. So a $5,000 subscriber, cool, run it. But hey.
Would y'all rather, as a human, would you rather be trapped in a room with Louis or trapped in a room with Lestat? Let's keep it real.
I think Lestat. No, for real, because Louis is going to smile in your face and then he's going to kill you. Lestat, at least you know what you're getting.
You just have to not bore Lestat. As long as you don't bore Lestat, you fine.
Unfortunately, with where we are in the series, and as broken as the both of them are, with the psyche and like who can inflict some harm on this, it like. He's further gone than Lestat.
Dang.
Lestat has evolved a bit more than Louis, unfortunately.
Louis is just a broken man. And he's broken in a way that's different than Lestat, because I think Lestat can acknowledge his brokenness. Louis is always going to try to make it look good. He's always going to come in with a smile. When we saw the mediation conversation, and it was like, yeah, that sounded like a cry for help. Maybe you need to go get on that lady's couch, Lestat. All the while, you're just about to be draped, covering your face in blood, taking out the Fang Gang. Like there's so much broken in Louis to me that he won't address, and he still wears the facade of I'm this perfect Patty, right? Like I'm her, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think Louis' problem is when confronted with truths, he doesn't know how to deal with it. So when Regina turns around and says, "Listen, I don't want to do this anymore. You're weird. I don't like this." How is he going to take that rejection? What's he going to do with it? That's the question. I don't trust Louis as far as I can throw. Like I said, he threatened to gut his brother like a pig. I will never forget it.
I disagree, because remember in season 1, even though he loved Claudia, he let Claudia leave in order to discover herself, and it was Lestat who dragged Claudia back from with crying and screaming because
clearly for her protection, because she shouldn't have been out in the world by herself. We saw that.
Right.
Bruce.
See, I don't like how you try to validate this Hobbit
with the facts.
Why? Lestat was minding his business. At Lestat one here, we can't blame. We're not orchestrating a damn thing here. This is all him, and this is Thomas Pitt. This is Thomas Pitt money.
Now, see, this is the same dilemma and hypocrisy that we had with the Twilight vampires and people who were Team Edward, because only defending Louis because he looked like that. If Louis looked like Harvey Weinstein and was doing all this, you crucify him and burn him at the stake and then lock up the ashes. But because he looked like
that goes for everyone on the cast. Everyone's beautiful.
Let me read these super chats. See,
if it was Daniel Malloy doing this,
and
somebody would not have as much grace.
Somebody in the comments just said, y'all are projecting Louis is not crazy. All vampires are crazy. We have not met a well-adjusted vampire. There are none. I think that's the whole entire point.
Every single vampire here is broken and crazy in some facet, all the way down to Daniel, who was newly turned. All of them. Nobody's innocent. Not even Daddy Lou.
The chat is Team Louis. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here, Team Louis.
Thank you so much for the super chat. The Telemaska told Daniel Louis was dangerous and is. Louis was already dangerous as, if you want to say, a brokey. Okay. Now we have endless streams of income.
Yeah.
Please, this is a force to be reckoned with. Y'all worried about the wrong vamp. This the one. Great conversion, my ass. Thank you so much, my fan, for the super chat. The only person Louis is really hurting is himself. Lestat sees that. It is. Mm-hmm. It is. I don't want Regina to get caught up in the crosshairs because you needed some sick fulfillment of something that you can't ever fix. You participated in it and she's gone. Epstein Louis want to freak off. Dane, please. Draft for filth. Somebody check on Louis.
I did not do him that bad. I have done worse.
Drag in the dirt. You drug him like he drug Claudia across that floor.
To save her.
Oh Lord. She took the job. So hey.
Amen.
I mean, but this is somebody profiting off of somebody else's circumstances and desperation. I am not letting Louis off the hook. Like, well, she grown. A lot of us are grown, and a lot of us would take this. Okay, I'm gonna let a fool part with his money. But what's gonna happen when she wants to part as well? Because I did what you paid me for. He's holding on to her like she's the second coming, and she's not. She's Regina. But this is wow. They really need a vampire support group for the lonely and damaged. They all have serious psychological issues. Every single one of them. Nobody here is innocent. Not even Louis de Pointe. Mm-hmm. Let's take a little pause for the cause. We're going to be right back. This Saturday, members only. There will be a double feature watch along. I'm going to run the ad for that. If you want to be a part of that, be sure to become a member today so we can watch and kiki together. We'll be right back. Everybody who don't like Louis, like the video.
Just the other day, I heard a host say, matter of fact, what could a host say with a face like this in this page? What could a host say? The bag so expensive, my pussy came with it. Body so nice, they be saying who did. But everything natural, actual, factual. Prissy in the streets, but I like an animal. All you hoes know who the I am. From your boyfriend down to my Instagram, to all them busted ass hoes that you kiki with. I bet your jaw drop if you ever see me. I'm her. She. Take a pic, it's me. Tell your friends this her. Bitch, you do, and whatever that is, I'ma do it better. Hoes must just see me in it playing, catch up. Like Lil Megan's playing, dress up. Would I ever spin the block on a nigga? Never. I don't even wear outfit twice. That dumb any got a problem, probably never. Let them tell I hate the kids go.
Nah, I can't like the video. You like it. Like the video. Y'all make so many, and I love Louis. Y'all make endless excuses for Louis that you do not make for anybody else. Like, this is sick. But let's just move on, you know. Let's just move on. Now, this Armand, Arun. Why? Okay. We have our boy Daniel on the street, you know, hitting the street running, because we low-key have been fired from the dock, but he's still kind of doing his own thing. And he's like, I feel something. I hear something. I'm trying to conduct this little conversation. It's Armand. It's Arun. It's the gremlin on a park bench. But it's not just one of these casual link-ups that we've been having where Armand says something, but not a whole lot. We find out, I've been watching, okay? I've been watching you. It's like when you fell down, I was there. When you were led astray and you needed a place of solace to cry alone in the church because you didn't like what your daughter said to you. I was there on those. I was like, what? You've been here for 50 plus years, Armand, watching, caring, and I would check in on you and guide you and be there out of love. Then I would go home and, you know, tell Louis all about it. But I've always been there. Daniel is falling for the okie doke. Daniel is starting to eat this mess up. And I'm sad for it. I am sad for it. You do not trust Arun. You do not trust Armand, but he would have to go this far and do this much work for someone who knows him inside and out enough to know that all you do is lie. You wake up and go and sleep and lie. Even though there's some truth to the lie, it's always something that's going to turn and benefit Armand in a way that he wants somebody to react and do as he wants them to. And right now, with his little lonely self, he wants Daniel by his side, on his side. But the behavior and the energy that you were giving 2 seasons ago was not giving love for the fascinating boy. It was not giving that you were checking in every 5 minutes all about Daniel and his life and his well-being for the fascinating boy. It never gave that. But Daniel was sitting there like, they played that little score that they always play when something hard hitting. How like, oh my God, really? This changes everything. Do not let it change too much, Daniel. This is why you're not here down at the auction in episode 1, because you fell for this rodent. You followed the gremlin into the abyss, and there's no turning back. Daniel, no, we care about you. Arun does not. Ashley, how did you feel about this revelation? Because I've always been there. I've always cared about you, Daniel. I love you.
Riff raff, street rat, I don't buy that. Listen, if only you look closer. Listen, a real boy, no siree. I cannot trust Armand the Gremlin. I knew when he went on his little redemption tour over these last 2. Oh, Lestat, I need to talk. I went to this 12-step program and I need to make my amends. And I have to acknowledge that I wanted that Bucci cat. So and so then when we get into the conversation with Daniel, and Daniel called him all kinds of power bottoms and all of these things. And he's like, listen, Daniel, I've walked with you through all of this. 1990, I was there when you took that boy back in your car and had your way with him. I blocked his memory so he wouldn't tell nobody what you did, Daniel. Listen, as you've been burgeoning and coming into your sexual awakening and trying to decide what you're going to be, I was there. And it was because I felt for you, Daniel. Armand, you're a liar. Armand, you're a liar who has never been loved and who will never be loved. I hate everything about him because it's just the duplicitous nature of him. Nothing good comes from Armand. Nothing good comes from the gremlin. And if Daniel calls him daddy one more time, I'm going to scream. Stop
Amen.
that.
Dad.
Stop
It's
that.
dad. It don't make you feel better that it's dad.
I was fearful that they were going to go behind the bench and go to work. And that's not something I wanted to see, because why do I need to know that Armand was a bottom? Why did I need to know that? He could have been verse. He could have been a top. Why did I need to know that he was a power bottom? Why did Daniel feel the need to say that or even have that conversation? And then as far as Daniel, I really thought he was going to be more formidable with the Vampire Manicure 3000. I really thought when Daniel got turned, I was like, oh, you hoes aren't ready, because he has all of the acumen. He was bold and brave, even in his human form. So now he's going to be ultra aware, whatever. And I guess that just, he's brand new. He's a babe now. So I guess all that naivete comes with it. And he's kind of lost in the way of the world. The fact that Armand is basically giving him the cheat code as far as Lestat, like, yeah, because, his mama, Gabriella, Sophia, and he's like, oh, you said I can walk in the sun? Like, what are your priorities, Daniel? And what are you doing? This conversation was so revelatory for me, just in terms of where Daniel's at right now in his life. And it's like, what are your real goals and intentions? Like, what is this? And maybe we are supposed to think about it like when you're a new vampire, you are childlike and you forget everything else you've learned. And it's going to take hundreds of years for him to get back there. But I really hated this. I said, really, Daniel? I'm so disappointed in you. I'm so disappointed. I was disappointed.
I don't know. I'm expecting him to take this and run with the information about Sophia. But other than that, he's eating up everything Armand has to say. And it's just going to end really poorly. Dumb.
I never rolled my eyes so hard in this show when this reveal happened. I mean, Armand is so manipulative, but he's also like the worst chess player ever, because he just be moving pieces to what end? Like, but I was irritated because no, you weren't. No, you weren't there for 52 years pining after Daniel Malloy. No, you weren't, because when reveals like this happen, it's supposed to change the context of how you watch what has come before. So now, after seeing this, I should be able to watch season 1 and season 2 and be like, ooh, yeah, Armand does. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. And I don't. And the fact that Daniel is falling for this insults my intelligence of an intelligent character. Like Daniel is supposed to be so smart and so perceptive and able to spot the bullshit on the backside of a fly, and he eating this up and it's irritating me. And I just because I'm fine with Armand being manipulative, but he should be better at. And because he is like the world's oldest pick me, and I'm really tired of him being so pathetic because he was fighting after Lestat. Lestat didn't really want him like that. Then did now you expect me to believe that for half of the time you were with Louis, for half of that century that y'all were together, that you were sneaking out periodically to go spy on who you really liked, which was James Lloyd. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because even if so, why? Like what does that what value of that is to me as a viewer? I don't care. You are pathetic. I don't like watching you. And all of this scene was only a vehicle to give Daniel that little tidbit bomb drop of Lestat is banging his mom. Like that, this whole contrived notion is just for him to get that piece of information because he wasn't gonna get it from nowhere else. And because Armand is the only person old enough to also know that. So I just wish we could have found a better way to get it out of him. Because when he said that, I was like, we know he's lying, right? We don't believe you. And for you to be this manipulative, to be this rejected by everybody is weird. Like you can't even be manipulative and be on. And I know Ashley said that you didn't need to know that he was bottom. How could he be anything else?
I never thought he wasn't a bottom. I'm so sorry. I don't
Yeah.
want to put him over.
You never know. With Louis, Louis could go, it could have been a verse situation. It could have been,
Louis can be versed. He can't.
He's a bottom.
He is
Louis first. This is a bottom, and Lestat is a top. Everybody knows.
Armand could
I don't
date
know that to be
women
true.
and still be a bottom. I just don't buy it. And this was the worst part of this episode. It irritated my soul. And I was like, please get this off my screen. When do we get to the part where he get an eye patch? When do we get to the eye gouging part of this man? It is irritating my soul. But no, I don't believe you liar. You were a liar.
Is Daniel calling Armand dad to hide his sexuality? I would hope not at this point. Like everybody knows Daniel. Can we not? Can we not still be doing that? Daniel is not living up. I want to think that a lot of this is just because Armand is his maker. You cannot pay me to believe that Daniel is instantly this foolish, even in the way that he is instantly subjected to the vampire abandonment and loneliness. And oh my God, how could it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. And one of those years was filled with the publicity tour and that damn book stunt. And he's already feeling it. I think a lot of this is manipulation on Armand's part. Just like he said in that last episode, why are you here? I can hear you. And then everybody else disappears. I don't have any control over that. That's not me. That's just something that happens when we're together. Shut up, Armand. Shut up, Gremlin. See?
None of this will be happening if Lestat didn't write that diss track. Because he was on his whole apology tour. If they would have took him into the fold, and he probably things would probably be a little different. But they banished him. They treated him like S. And now he's on his revenge tour. Forget the apology tour, his revenge tour at this point. I think Daniel has always been very intelligent, but I think some of it was the fact that he was working more closely with the Talamasca before, at least in season 2. This season, they show him working with the Talamasca in like very broad strokes, but they aren't really feeding him that much information. So maybe that's why we're seeing the dumbing down of Daniel. The whole dad thing is very odd to me and very weird. I hate it every time he says it, especially because this is a man well into his late 50s, 60s. And it's like, I'm good with the dad reference. We can be done with that. But Armand and him being a thing is that was in the books, right? It was referenced. And him stalking Daniel for like 50 plus years You know, if that's what he wants to do at the time, if he was with Louis and having this whole thing with Daniel, I'm not surprised because people have open marriages all the time. Your Honor.
But Daniel,
I don't, and honestly, Louis never gave. He was so into Armand that he had to have him all to himself. If we're being honest, Louis was never as much into Armand as Armand was into Louis, and Armand was into Lestat. So I don't feel like them seeing at least Armand seeing other people or having an interest in other people.
But really Daniel, see, you really think he was interested enough to go and intervene and for as long as he did with Daniel?
I think Armand is a clinger and he's interested in whoever, like, okay, keep in mind he used to date Lestat. Then Lestat dated Louis and he started to have an interest in Louis, right? Then Louis had an interest in Daniel, maybe not sexual, but an interest in Daniel. He was, he thought he was interesting. And now suddenly Armand has an interest in Daniel. So it's like he clings on to things. So I could see it making sense, right?
He's just playing the long game. He don't want Daniel. He ain't never wanted. You don't want it. You got Louis at home in your bed, and I'm out tracing Daniel. No, this is a scheme set up to come at you with the BS. This is the long game. Armand said, I'm gonna need Daniel in my back pocket. So let me watch him. Let me get it so I can have a little something to pull out when the time is right. But he ain't never wanted that man.
I think that a part of Armand always knew that Louis wanted Lestat more than he wanted him, right? So I think that him going
Armand wants Lestat more than Lestat.
But I think a part of him going after Daniel or having this interest in Daniel was because he knew that he could not take that spot for Louis because that spot was held by Lestat, right? So he's trying to find the person who would look at him as their Lestat, right?
And it's gonna be Daniel?
San Francisco. Like there's no other with nobody at that bar you saw, Armand, that you said.
See, even in the way that he was made, like if you wanted this and you could have your pick of the litter as far as just the vamp, you could go make anyone that you felt like, oh, this is who I want to wake up to, who reveres me. Like the sun just came up and you went to Daniel, who hated her for your stinking guts. This was all a move out of spite. You turned him out of spite. All of this followed 50 years is crazy. I don't think
50 years is nothing to a vampire though. Let's 50 years is nothing to a vampire.
But you were ready to watch him die. You were ready to
utilize him later, or he's gonna matter later, or I need to make sure I'm checking in. Like what incentive would you have to? I don't know.
The way he played with Daniel like a hacky sack, he never liked Daniel for real. Do you remember that scene where he picked him up and dropped him and picked him up and dropped him and picked him up and dropped him and picked him up and dropped him?
Yeah. But then remember when he had that conversation when he was a conduit.
He made him sit in a chair that wasn't there.
But then shortly thereafter, he was a conduit for Lestat to talk to Louis, right? And Lestat was telling him, tell Louis I love him. Tell Louis I love him. And that's when he was like, dog, Louis ain't never about to love me the way he loves Lestat. Let me see what's up with Daniel over here in the living room that I got him planking.
But see, he watched Daniel for 50 years, and he said because Daniel wasn't ready to accept his own sexuality. Yeah. But Daniel is 70 something. So was you just gonna watch him die? You was gonna watch him mature into at what point was you gonna make your move?
Maybe, look, even Edward didn't want to turn Bella, and he was in love with Bella. So maybe he was just like, let me let this human live out his life.
I think
Bella was in high school, so you're supposed to wait.
Thank you so much for the super chat. What did you think when Armand told Daniel he erased the student's memory for being so rough with him? Ashley?
That Daniel was a damn predator as well with freaky conquest, because that wasn't the only boy you didn't mess with, Daniel, and probably was rough with. That honestly, I was like, okay, is Armand's narrative responsibility this season to expose everyone, like the true nature of who they are, because we knew Daniel was a druggie, we knew he was all of those things, but now we're entering into potentially violated consent. I was like, okay, they're setting Daniel up for something, right? For us to know more about who he really was. But yeah, that was something, and it was manipulation, because I know what you did last summer, Daniel.
Same here. I was feeling the same way, even the way, your daughter, when she told you and she was crying and you went and all of that. Like, I was like, now we're getting into, I love Daniel. Why we got him? The predatory thing and him having to erase the memory at all because you were trying to be closeted and sneaky like that's predatory. I don't want that on this fascinating boy. I love Daniel down. Like, that hurt me when he said that. I said, Daniel, no. You over there serving your Bucci cat in the local bars in the 70s, being some trade for a little dope. That's your business. That was personal. This is something else.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't like it either.
It broke my heart.
He always gets a little rough and crazy in the bed. Remember they said he put a bag over that girl's head and
he
put that
did.
And still had,
Daniel been predatory. You're right. Because he
I think,
say that.
Look, I'm like, oh, he sure did. I forgot about that.
I did.
Damn.
He put that brown paper bag over that lady's head, called her ugly, and then took it. Mm-hmm.
Trash ass Daniel. I think you got so much in the chat for the Jew. we appreciate all the jewels in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Man, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Oh. Well, now, Daniel ain't no saint. But that's still a lot for Armand to do for that man's whole life. That was that man's whole life.
Marius is here, y'all. I said, let us be done with this. I said, y'all really going down into them Twilight streets. Okay.
Yes, shout out to Twilight.
Very, very Twilight. I think this is the Voltaire in the back. We get into this during the flashback and him uprooting Lestat immediately from the ground in his sleep, all because of Big Mama left. And it's just like, yeah, I pulled you from the dirt to watch over those who must be kept. I said, are you crazy? Now, I think I heard like, well, you were requested. The queen, Miss Akasha, doesn't say too much. We talk about the lore of, how we're even here and how it's, for the entire race of vampires and the importance of them being kept properly and things that they've endured and blah, blah, blah. But it was whispered to me on a hot summer day that it was supposed to be you. So I came and found you. Personally, I low-key need a little vacation. I'm tired. I've been wiping, listening, protecting, all things for quite some time. I was like, and y'all thought Lestat was the one for the job to keep her asleep? No, baby, if you wanted to wake up, Akasha, just say that. Just say that. For me, it was like, oh my God, you're alive? Armand told me you were dead. It's like, oh, she's like that rotten boy. I said, oh my God. Everybody hates Armand. But even at the same time, it's like you're the same one lending out, or you're the reason we have this rotten boy lending him out to your little friends for sexual favors, exploiting him, and like you're the cause for that too. But he's here, and we get our first glimpse of Akasha. I feel like it was supposed to be a really massive moment with Marius here. I was more so just intrigued, like, oh my God, the Voltaire. But I wasn't like stood dead in my tracks. I don't think anybody believed Armand when he said that. But Armand believes. I said the one thing that you said that isn't a lie, and you thinking that this man is dead, he just wanted you to think that he was dead because he didn't want anything to do with you. That is crazy. That is crazy because I was like, oh no, you really thought that he was dead just because he's been obsolete for all this time. He definitely, as my maker, wouldn't just disappear on me. No, he considers you that rotten that he's just been gone. I say, that is wild, Armand. What the hell? He's so rejected. It's sad. How did you feel about meeting Marius and him bringing on Lestat to be the watcher at this point and just the first glimpse of Akasha?
It was, first of all, Armand is rejected by everybody. He's Pepe Le Pew for the ages because nobody wants to be your friend. This man should have been fired because he's responsible for like killing all vampires because he dropped the soap one time. And so I'm surprised it took this long to get a replacement. But this was cool, but this is also what I showed up for. This is because I'm big on the lore. I want the lore. I want you to tell me all the backstory. I want you to tell me how everything's connected. That's what I want. But also, this should have been the theme of the season. We should have gotten this episode 1 or 2 in my mind. We should have been paralleling the mother who discarded him with the mother who found him. And this nurturing and caretaker role could have shown us a different side of Lestat, and especially if it was stretched over 2 or 3 episodes of him playing the music and him learning, because he immediately, we just skipped to like him doing the job and playing the music and having fun. But if this was a gradual thing, and then her moving and stuff was a little bit more gradual, but it's like, oh, as soon as Lestat show up, she's sitting upright. I'm just all right, cool. I mean, we obviously see there's something special about Lestat when Marius walks away and he's like, it took her 22 years to talk to me, and she's like
23.
23. I'm like, how she telepathically so black and sassy. I love it. But to me, this was like everything in the show so rushed that I felt like this could have been a good arc. And then if you paralleled that with the Gabriella stuff, then we would have got a really powerful and dynamic side of Lestat that we haven't seen. But this was just like a teaser in my mind, and I was like, okay. But I like all the actors, and I like the Akasha stuff, but it was just quick. It was quick as hell.
All of it is quick, and I'm like, if we were gonna do this, it just makes me mad at Gabriella all over again, because it's like, we made time for all of this, but since it's here, we need you to feel everything in an instance and squeeze it all into a 5-minute window, and we don't get any time to rest with Marius or even this whole situation. See?
Yeah, I was also excited to see a little Twilight in this episode. I said, "Oh snap, that's it for the Montoya." That was I popped big for that. I thought it was interesting that they decided to go with this actor, because he's such a departure from what the character is in the book, at least visually. But the same thing with Daniel, so I'm sure they know what they're doing, right? Yeah, like Dom was saying, I do wish that we had more time with Lestat kind of learning and this role of his to kind of be her overseer, her keeper, and him, becoming more mad mentally because of all the solitude, right? And for her to eventually speak to him and move, that would have been like a really great payoff over time. Even though I honestly can say, with the limited time that they did give us here, I think that they utilized it well, because when she did start to move and speak, I thought it was very compelling. But it could have been more there. Marius ain't shit. Because how you going to start somebody new to the job and then just dip like that? He was tired. He said he needed a break. He already messed up with old boy, the other vampire over there in Stone. So he was like, look, I need a break, and you need to take over today. When can you start? Today? Okay, bet. So, yeah, it's interesting, but it could have been more. But I enjoyed it though.
See, that does not make any sense with how much care and concern he had here for him. That's why we needed more time to see him kind of go through the motions. So that way, when the stat goes too far, it kind of messes up. And it's like, oh, well, no, you brought me here, dug me up. I took a shower and you were gone on vacation.
Marius needed a break. He said, look, he been down here for eons. He needed to go, right? He did put his.
Don't be mad when you come back and I'm high off her blood. Don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because how you gonna come back mad?
I don't know.
With no tutorial, no workplace video, training video, none of that.
I don't think Lestat fully, unless it's something being glazed over. I don't think he understood the severity of her remaining still. Ashley,
I mean, that was the one rule, and as soon as they gave him the rule, do anything, just don't give her any blood. Don't get him no blood. Don't give him no blood. I was like, that's the one rule you got, and it's like, okay, yeah, he's gonna give him blood. You should have told him anything else but that. It was interesting meeting Marius, right? I was like, okay, where are we going here? What are we doing with this? I think the most compelling or interesting part is that Marius says, Akasha chose you, right? Out of everybody else, she's the one who chose you as someone. So I'm really interested to know what she saw in Lestat that made him a worthy person? Because at this point, he's completely broken, right? Devastated because his mama wouldn't give him the cootie cat. She ran off on him. And so now it's like, what am I going to do here? He's, of course, in psychosis, active psychosis, having dinner parties with the cabbage heads, with I said, listen, Lestat, go somewhere. But what I really wanted to know, like you said, because Tyra had watched it before I did, and she said, yeah, and the Volturi's over here. I thought she was being funny. And then I was like, oh, that actually is the Volturi. Like he is from Twilight. I thought that was fun. But I do want to know more. I want to know what this dynamic is. I want to know what Marius had possibly told Lestat about his fledgling, if he even ever told him about Arun, Amadeo, Armand. Like, I want to go into there. This honestly made me want to know more about Armand. So I'm like, can we get the vampire Armand next? Like, that's what I want to see now. And how all of this worked. I will say that at first glance, seeing Sheila, I was like, oh gosh, she looks good. Like it looks so good. She looks so good in the stone. I was like, okay, where are we going? Are we going to meet and kill? And then of course, when we get into her monologue later, we'll talk about that. But yeah, this was a disaster waiting to happen. We know Lestat can't control himself. He looking at her like, oh, she got braids. She chocolate. He's got a, Lestat like a little chocolatey piece, something. We knew what was going to happen here, but I liked how it played out. I do think we could have sat here a little bit longer.
Armand said she got 2-strand twists. What's good? Thank you so much for the super chat. Marius is the reason Armand is a gremlin. Absolutely. Show full of crap parents. Like, no, every single episode reminds me when Lestat said, Claudia, baby, ain't nothing out there. Like, you want to meet a good vampire? Good luck. Where are they? Where are they? It's none. The fact he knows the impact and how he treated him and what he did, and you got the nerve to stand here and call him a rotten boy. I was like, oh, poor Armand. I can't stand Armand, but poor Armand.
Nah, yeah, absolutely not. We will not do that. All the Armand slander.
I'm just saying, I feel like I'm really interested in an Armand show. I would watch that down right about now.
Me too.
Baby, is it her? Is it her? Shut up, Louis. Louis could give a damn. The way my baby was in there laying down hot tracks, trash tracks, but hot tracks on the downbeat. And those texts are coming in from what he said. Thomas Pitt is an ass, or what was the name? Thomas Pitt is something. I laughed. I chuckled. But Daddy Lou said he needed me. He said he needed me. He said, cut the track. I gotta go. You guys can run it yourselves. I got when Daddy Lou calls, because I still have that draw, I still have that pool. He said, help me, I need you now. He gonna turn on the waterworks in the front seat. Well, like, I just don't know in my mind if it's really her. But sometimes I don't even want to know if it isn't really her. Like, is it her? Can you go in there and see? He's like, did you hear about my assassination? I got shot. I got shot down and I didn't hear from you. Yeah, I know. I'm selfish me. But can you go? And he's like, you know what? Love Louis down. Love him all day long. I'm gonna make the world stop always, all the time, all about Louis. We go in there and it's like, well, damn, it really does look like her. It really does look like her. He's in his tracks. And I was waiting because I told y'all last episode, I was like, it is not okay at this point for what y'all told us Claudia at least represented for Lestat, for him to not go through some type of cycles with her, seeing her, thinking nothing this entire show. It seems like it's something that he was trying to block out all the way up until this moment where he actually saw her and we couldn't anymore. By the time we go and get that special, he's going through the cycles. His psyche is gone. We see her. She's burning. We're going and all. Baby, when he said, leave him alone. Stop. I said, oh, please. Leave him alone. You're hurting him. It's always about Louis. It's always about Louis. You're hurting. You say, hurting who? Hurting me? She said, well, if you're getting paid how much I think you are, why are you even working here? Because I work here sometimes to get away, to get a glimpse back into reality of what my life was before this vampire walked in and interrupted it. Even with all his money, that's not going to stop him from stalking me. That's not going to stop those. She said 100 texts a day. What? About what? Louis, what are you sending her? What are you doing? Crazy? She's like, well, yeah, but still, like, don't feed into it. Just leave him alone. Just go. And of course, I just love us going through the psyches of his mind and him not being able to be in denial anymore about who and what Claudia was to him. And you're just as tortured and broken as Louis. We're doing it and showing it in a different way. And of course, we see him go expose it and give it through his music. Whereas we have Daddy Lou sitting his ass out in the middle of the street. It's like, what do you think? What's the verdict? It's like, just don't do this anymore. Don't do this to yourself. Leave her alone. Leave this alone. Just go. Don't see her anymore. And next time a gun goes off, hit me up. If you're gonna call me for situations like this, yeah, like nothing in this exchange and Louis in this car gave, I'm done with it and I'm walking away. He isn't going anywhere. I think he's gonna descend even further. Ashley,
if y'all can sit here in this comment section and see if you can sit here and defend Lewis's actions on this night, y'all got to be unhinged, because there's no way Lestat then took 4 to the body, 2 to the chest, 1 to the hand. You know, they were trying to give the Jesus iconography with the blood coming through. I said, okay, y'all are doing too much. But really, you didn't even call Thomas Pitt? You ain't even call your ex-man? If it was what it ever was, the least you would have done was call to say, they saying you, I know you not gone. And then not only that, but let me bring you into not only my trauma, but your trauma. Because you was there too at Theater Day Vampire and had to watch our baby girl burn. But I want to send you in here. You already look mourning and broken. You got your Scully on. I said, Lestat, what are you doing? In your black combat boots, Louis comes crying and you come running. I said, this is the sickness. This is the sickness. And Louis is selfish as hell. Even in that moment, yeah, I'm selfish. I'm a selfish a-hole. I know it. But what you think? I can't stand Louis. Louis is hell for that. And then going in and having to watch Lestat witness whatever. And here's the issue, right? In these 5 episodes, we still don't have a true account of how Lestat truly felt about Claudia. We have ideas based on his lived experiences, what he's feeling, what he's emoting through these facial expressions, but we still don't know his version of events. So to sit him there and he's trying to like vet her, but all the time seeing his baby Claudia being burnt to cinders on that stage in the Theater Day Vampire that he clearly couldn't or wouldn't save her from is torturous. And then going back and forth with her and she's in fear. Hey, I thought you were dead. Like, what are you doing here? But also kind of getting the realization that this is a dangerous vampire, so I better answer him correctly. And then I have to put everything on the side, my mother issues, my band, everything that's gone to hell in a handbasket, these other issues I don't want to address. And now I'm having to cape for him. Just leave him alone. He's not built for this. He's a broken man. You know, he's just a broken girl. Don't do it. And then going back out to Louis. So not the same light in the eyes, is it? No, it's not her. Yeah, it's not her. But stay away from her, Louis. Yeah. You're right, but we know Louis is not going to stay away from this young girl. He's obsessed with her. He thinks that she is Claudia. He's going to make another Claudia. I feel it deep down on the inside. He's going to make another Claudia, but this was so sick. It was so terrible. You didn't even call that man about the hotel. You scheduling mediations and he comes running when you call. He came, I need you. I need you. Yeah, I needed you last night when I got shot. Like, what are we doing here? And the fact that he just shows up every single time, I don't know. Y'all have to make it make sense. And I know y'all love to love him. Listen, Louis is fine. I'm never going to take that away from him. And when he's right, he's right. When he drop kicked our boy's head down the streets of Paris, loved him. When he killed Bruce, lived for it. But it was all a stunt. Louis pulls stunts to assuage his guilt. He has never been authentic, y'all. And at the end of the day, that ism is not on him. It's in him. He is a pimp to this day. In nature, in character, in actions, he is big pimping. Still.
Spinning cheese.
Still. Just saying.
Because how quickly we can jump from I own 41% of this company. I own the failures. Can you go in? Is it her? No, hell no, delusion. I'm dumb.
Y'all are funny. And y'all are also ridiculous because ease up. Ease up, because, and this is where I'm gonna put on my cape a little bit, because I don't know if you ever had that one that was like, nah, they fine and it's a good time. So, you know, when they make the phone buzz, you're gonna go move, make that move.
Please.
You always got that one. You always got that one. But and also at the same time, we vampires. We vampires, and we've known each other for over a century. And a human shot you. All right, I know you. I know you're fine. I know you're fine.
But you
I didn't.
call, Dom. But you call.
It don't matter.
You
It
call.
don't matter.
You don't know
fine.
what kind of bullets he had. How you don't know he had some invincibility vampire killer 3000s, Dom? How you know?
Tell you.
Because if Lestat de Lioncourt was actually in trouble, he would have called out to me. And so the fact that you didn't call out to me, I know it wasn't that deep. And I'm Louis Dupont. I'm Louis Dupont the Lac. The power don't move. You come to me. And so it's cool. If you was in real trouble, both of these people are deep. Both of these people are drama queens. Both of these people are divas. I'm not. Y'all not gonna put all this on Louis Dupont de Lac because he moving smooth right now, and we not together. We got a weird relationship, and you got shot. But you were more in danger doing that old boy style hallway fight with the Detroit vampires.
He ain't call him then either.
But I didn't know about that. That wasn't on national TV.
Happened in his hotel.
Which he wanted.
He the owner, not the manager. He the owner, not the manager.
Yeah.
The mediation.
Power don't move. Power doesn't travel. You come to me. But it's and also this is more important. This is more important. This is more serious. And I need you here because this is real. Them little pea shooter bullets wasn't real. This is real. And I need you
They moved the earth. He said, "You just should come see about me." Damn, call me. Are you good? Are you cool? How do you feel? You got to go into hiding. I didn't fake my own death. I didn't went into hiding, and you couldn't pick up the phone.
Yeah,
I would have returned this energy via them funky ass texts and said, "I'm in the studio. Hit me up later." New phone.
Yeah.
Who's this? Then it would have been a problem. Would have left you crying like the little sad sack you are in this parking lot, stalking this poor girl.
You faked your death. I didn't fake your death. You faked your death. I didn't see, and you, the same person who dropped me from airplane height, and so you getting two to the chest ain't really finna move my needle at all. But I got a real dilemma right here, not the play dilemma with you and your little band. I got a real dilemma right here, and I need you, and I want you to sit here and look me in the eye and tell me that when Lestat was sitting at the diner, looking in this little girl's face, wasn't some of the best acting this show has seen. The way Lestat was looking at her, and his face was contorting, and he was keeping it in. Acting is all about restraint, and he was holding that in. That was some good acting. That was some of the best acting in this show. This whole scene was great. This was real. What was Louis gonna do? If I call Lestat, he was gonna get some snark remark, some sarcastic remark. Oh, you care about me? Oh, you need me? You can't stay away. I ain't got time for that. I got a real problem over here. Come see to tell me this ain't our daughter. Like that's what this is about. Y'all need to get off my boy Louis right now.
Amen. Yes, speak on it.
I'll never get off his neck. Matter of fact, if I said it, I'll say it again. I'll say it twice. He is trash as a friend. And outside of the sex, outside of the relationship, it's not even about, oh, I thought he was going to die. It's about I care. And not only that, but it speaks more to the fact that whatever's going on in my life, no matter what it is far more important than whatever you got going on, Lestat. You can call me 10 times. I won't respond. But when I need you, I expect you to be there. That's what it is. That's what it is.
And what'd you do? What'd you do when I called? You showed up.
Right
and y'all gonna bring up that fall from space every single time. But let's just act like removed from this situation. Episode 1, plot starting. You weren't ready to come to Montreal and let me smell your drawers up until that book got dropped.
He was being abused. A lot of people go back to their abusers repeatedly. Y'all give me
a little spew about how Louis is a victim right now in this situation.
Because how long did it take for Lestat to reach out to Louis after he done dropped him 500 feet in the air and left him for dead? Like, he mad because he didn't call him because some human shot him with a bullet that ain't gonna kill him in the first place. Are you kidding me? Like, come on
And
now.
y'all
Let's
and
let's
y'all
be
are only
real.
doing this. And see, this is really misogynistic
Ugh.
because and a little homophobic because y'all are only doing this because it's two men. But how many times have we seen like the drug dealing boyfriend come home with the girlfriend? She'd be like, "You ain't returned my
You know,
call," and he was like, "Man, you wasn't talking about this. I had to move your weight." And then she'd be like, "Yes, yes, daddy," and that's the show, and we don't say nothing about it
and keep
because
in
that's
mind,
the dynamic. That's the dynamic. Louis said you weren't talking about nothing. But come see about daddy, and
right?
guess what happened? That's all
I
that.
don't know what land you live in with them
No,
women, Dom.
no,
Mind
but
your business. I don't know where you been at and who was
but
all over there. I wasn't at that house. I didn't go on that date. See, continue with your savior, Captain Save a Cave,
no,
all about
because
Louis.
keep in mind, these are the same folks who were saying Louis such a bird for going back to Lestat and doing being all about Lestat. And now that Louis got some independence and some agency in his own
Well,
life,
keep
and
it. Don't call me.
and
Keep
he's
the independence, Daddy
but
Lou.
he only called him for a specific reason, just to verify if this is their Claudia or not. He didn't call him to be like, "Oh yeah, are you okay? I'm gonna run to you right now, baby. You know, I know you beat me up
So
and
he
drop me
didn't call
5,000
him.
feet."
See, so you don't think a part of him called him to pull Lestat into his delusion as well? Because even she recognized. She said, "Oh, you're here." So it's all coming
No,
together to say that he was.
no, I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Because if he did that, he would have set up a whole thing. It would have been a whole experience, a whole event. Like the stage would have been set. It wouldn't have been at the damn Brick and Bacon or whatever the heck it's called. It would have been in a reenacted place that looks like a memory from the past. I don't think he did that for those specific reasons. And also, this is the same Lestat who just last slide you were saying, oh, he didn't know this 30-year-old, he got turned a 30-year-old as a 30-year-old. Say, oh, he didn't realize that he was supposed to do this and all these excuses for Lestat, but who's upset because he can't bang his mama. But this man lost his daughter / sister, and he's grieving, but he doesn't get the same grace. That's crazy to me. And the fact that y'all saying he's sending her all of these messages. She's his employee at this point. He's paying her $500,000. I don't think anybody here on this panel, I don't know, I'm not pocket watching, but I don't think anybody in this panel is making $500,000 out there 9 to 5.
See,
And
is the
you
job
wake
not
up to
done?
these emails.
Did she not provide her service? Is she on the hook for life? Because if that's the scenario we're going of, baby, you're supposed to pick up every time I call you because I paid you five.
We don't know what was in their contract. We don't know what was in their contract. He gave her them 1099s. We don't know what the heck was in that contract. She is an employee, and if he sent her some text messages, you damn right, you better reply. God damn it.
Well, see, I am gonna,
and I feel as if Lestat, he knows that she looks like Claudia, and the only reason why he came running the way he did and was so upset was because he felt again that he was coming second to something else. And Lestat always needs to come first in everybody's goddamn life because he's the star. He's the one who needs all of the attention. And the only reason he came was to verify whether or not this is Claudia. And
he
once
didn't
he
even
knows
know
that,
the circumstances before he showed up. He didn't even know until he got there. The texts were vague.
either way, he walked in there, he knew she looked like Claudia and tried to downplay it to Louis. So, oh no, that's not her. She doesn't look like us. Because he wants to be.
He's trying to save him from himself. Like, what are you?
He can't even save himself. How he gonna save Louis? He can't
exactly. Which is why I shouldn't be making time to come down here for your little broken ass either. I'm broken too.
Because he's an abuser. At the very least, he Lestat let Claudia die. The very least he can show up and verify what the heck is going on. Come on now, Lestat, the blood of Akasha could have saved Claudia. Come on now, we know that was a lie.
So, see, based off of our conversation last episode, moving into this next slide, because I'm gonna let you cook first.
Yeah.
From his reaction to seeing Claudia, how all the memories, because you were very staunch in your stance last episode about him never giving two damns about Claudia ever.
And I stand on that.
And after this, you still stand on it.
I still stand on that. It's a difference to feel guilty over someone's death versus actually caring about them and wanting them around. He feels guilty that he allowed her to die, but I don't think that he actually loved her to the point that was his daughter, in my opinion. He loved her because Louis loved her, or he tolerated her because Louis loved her, but I don't think he loved her.
Even after stained glass eyes, because we came back from that meeting and wrote the best song that we've written The whole, he said, "Oh, this changes the entire sound of the band, the
I
direction
think
we were going in."
felt guilty, and him seeing. And keep in mind, this is him seeing Lestat. Seeing Louis. This is the first time he's seen Louis since doing this album. So how do we know it was in him seeing Louis that was like, yeah, we need to change the whole tone of the album now? I just hope my man. So I think that this is just him feeling guilty over her death, not necessarily feeling like, or saying that, this is my daughter. I loved her so much that I allowed her to die and facilitated the whole thing and showed up and was plotting on her death from the beginning.
There was no beauty here for you. See, there was no beauty in this moment, and him getting the ballot out all about Claudia, her appearing, the ashes of.
What is there to?
So you felt no sentiments that he gave a damn about Claudia still, even after stained glass eyes.
This is a man feeling guilty over his actions.
Then what is Louis?
If he loved her so bad, he would have saved her. If he loved her so bad, he wouldn't have brought all of that to her doorstep. And if he loved her so bad, he would have been remembering her throughout this whole time, and not just after he spoke to Louis, who actually loves Claudia. That's what it is. I don't think it's this is guilt. This is a guilty conscience coming back to bite him in the ass.
Ashley, how do you feel about a song for Claudia in the stained glass eyes of it all?
I thought Delaney Hales looked incredible. I was like, this is the best I've seen her look. I loved that look as he was seeing her and her kind of in the burning and playing the piano with her. I thought she looked amazing. And I thought the song was beautiful. I can't even deal with C right now in this love, this idea of love, because to be honest with you, I don't think either of them truly have a concept of love, of real love. I don't know if any of these characters that we have met have truly ever experienced love. I think there's been infatuation. I think there's been obsession. I think there's been lust. I think there's been all of those things. But if you're saying Louis loved Claudia, Lestat loved her too then, damn it. Because at this point, Louis loves himself. Like there's no one outside of himself that he loved. I think he loved the idea of Claudia. I think that he loved the idea of having a companion, a daughter, a sister. I think he loved that, but he ain't loved Claudia. If he loved Claudia, he would have let Claudia die. To be honest with you, if he loved Claudia, he would have never had her turn. If he'd have loved Claudia, he would have never done half the things they did on the journey. If he loved Claudia, he would have left Lestat's ass. Since you say he was just the villain in this narrative the whole time, he would have left Lestat and chose Claudia at least one time. But what she said, you never chose me. You never chose me.
Love makes you stupid.
Love makes you
stupid. Lestat said Louis never chose him.
But the song was beautiful. I thought it was compelling. I think that the same guilt, I think it's being demonstrated differently between the two characters, but I think it's the same emotion. I think Lestat feels very guilty. I feel like the maker fledgling connection is undeniable. So there's got to be a bond there, whether you perceive it as love or not. There's a strong connection to whoever you make, no matter what facade we saw told through the lens of Armand and Louis up to this point. I think this song was eye-opening. I think he saw every second of it. And like the song is talking about, keep your gaze on me. Like, don't stop looking as she's like burning down. I don't think there's a way you walk away from that unscathed. And while I do think that's guilt, I think there was compassion and care that he had in his way. Just like I feel like Louis had compassion and care in his way. But I think they're both dealing with the same emotion, which is guilt. And they're both culpable for this, in my opinion, for Claudia even being brought into the situation. As far as the song, I like the song. I like the new direction of the album. However, this is going to be an anthem for the Great Conversion, which is not going to be good for anybody. It's not going to be good for humans. It's not going to be good for vampires. So I'm really confused about why Gabriella is pushing this if she's supposed to be so wise. But I like the new sound. I like the new direction of the album, and we'll see.
I love this entire scene. I was like, I always knew you cared, Uncle Stat. I always knew you cared. This did something for me because I've been waiting. This entire was like, where is Claudia in your narrative, Lestat? You're not going to pay me to believe that she is non-existent, even up until the moment that, like, I feel like he couldn't deny it anymore because he was confronted with it in bold print with this Regina standing there. It was like, I can't block this out. And I think it's a testament to how much she meant whether he wants to register that or not, because out of everybody else, everybody named mama in the studio, or they've been here haunting this presence, but not her. But at this moment, you couldn't. And when you finally confronted it, you wrote the best thing that you've ever written in your life. This was a beautiful scene. I love the song. I thought it was great. He sounded good because the music in this episode was horrid. I was like, oh my God, this is awful. And it finally, and he was like, it changed everything. He's like, this is the new direction of the album. I found my sound. I found that purpose, and I had to go there. It's something I tried to block and deny for so long to get it. The only thing I did not really love about this scene was the idea of our fellow vamps all in here with our rest. It's like, well, yeah, we're gonna do the album again, and we're gonna this new direction, and it's a vampire ear. Well, yeah, make us vampires. It was just very cavalier. And this oath, I was like, y'all finna do ladders of fetishism, y'all finna drink of each other's blood. They're slitting each other open, and it's just a kiki, very one band, one sound. Like, oh, they're that committed. Lestat, they want to be vamps too. Give us the gift, even though he's given every single notion at this point since he revealed it to you why you wouldn't want to be a vamp. But it's like, if it's for the heart of the band and the music, we're all in this together. And of course, we leave the scene. I thought that was a bit like, I could care less, but I love the commitment. But the sequence in the song was great. Dumb.
This is the show. This is what the show should have been. This is the best part of the show. This is the best song in the show. This song reminded me. I don't know if anybody ever watched the Nashville, but in Nashville, I know, but there was a part where Claire, one of the new up and coming artists, she had this song where it was kind of the same scene where she was playing it on the piano and she was singing, and it was about her mother, and it was called like Black Roses or something like that. And it was a great song, it was the best song in the series at that point. And it just reminded me of that. But this, yeah, he loved Claudia. He loved Claudia, and you can tell he loved Claudia by how he loves everybody else. Lestat loves in a very toxic and unhealthy way. And that's just how it manifests because he's broken. I mean, look what his relationship with his mother is. Look what his relationship with his upbringing was. He can't function properly. He can't process emotions properly. So his expression of emotion isn't proper. If you say he loved Louis, then he got to love Claudia because the way he loved Louis is toxic. And if you tell me he loved Louis, but he dropped him from an airplane, then he loved Claudia. And yeah, I'm gonna bring it up every time because you dropped me from the Empire State Building. That's but you say you love me. I don't get that. Yeah, I feel like we singing a Rihanna and Eminem song because I love the way you lie. And but but this was a great expression of Lestat, and it was like the part of him that he's been trying to keep out and distract himself with all this other very poor music with these very poor musicians. And that was the only thing that undercut this for me, was the band sticking around. Like when we pick a new direction, we should have shed the band because we knew from the get-go this was a subpar band with subpar musicians making subpar music. We kept saying it over and over again. But now that I found my lane, now that I found my real muse, I hit that vein of real talent and real art, we need to let all this go. And I need to go on my own. And I don't need to be a rock legend no more. I need to go be John Legend. And that's where this should have pivoted. But the kids at the end of it doing the blood oath thing, I didn't need. And if he turned these folks into vampires and just have a vampire band, I just waiting for Scooby Doo and the gang to show up because it's gonna be irritating. But like Ashley said, the actress who plays Claudia looks amazing. And again, Lestat acting like he won an Emmy. The show ain't the show that he's being surrounded with ain't Emmy worthy. But he working hard for this Emmy he ain't gonna get. So I appreciate this song. And this is the best song of the show. I don't care what y'all say, it's the best song of the show. And all of this was great. The only thing I didn't like was the band and the mama just snickering in the corner. I thought this was gonna be the song to wake up Akasha. That's what I thought. I was like, oh, she finna get up now, but not yet.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Her wig was okay, but I need more wig budget now. Oh, Akasha! I thought it looked good. I thought everything on Akasha looked really well. Why all the gremlin hate? Louise knew about Daniel too. Season 1 told us without telling the forward plot. Armand told the truth. Somebody had to pay for Big Boss. I blame the makers. Roses, but you know, don't come in here with that, with all that hash and bash. Don't do that. Them untruths. Armand, wake up to lie. You know that. Thank you. Child, call him for what? Did Lestat call when he dropped? Oh God!
Yes.
Did Lestat call when he dropped Louise from the moon? He was too busy laid up with Antoinette. Lestat was just fine.
Thank you, chat.
We're gonna hold everybody to a standard of the past. There should be excommunicado, just period, in life. Period. Just don't ever talk to each other again. Just stop. Y'all go. You know what? It's fine. It's fine.
You want me? Say you want me. Don't be expecting me to just pop up. Louis said I needed you, and he came. Lestat, if you wanted me, you should have said so.
Come to me. She said, come to me. Said it's all learned behavior. She said, come to me, so I came on over. This was a really great sequence. I was like, this is good. What the hell y'all been doing? Y'all prioritizing the wrong ish completely. There was so much screen presence immediately. I don't know who did the makeup here. I don't know. This was great. This looked expensive. I said, oh my God. The acting was great. Like Ashley said, all of the cabbage, him still from the looks of it, trying to awake from the maddening, which only got worse when we got to be bitten. But the scoop. The way that I think they said that he was here. I think he was here a decade, right? The show said that he was here a whole decade, and gradually, we're playing music, we're getting better, we're communicating. She's moving a bit more and more. I was like, oh, it was so good, but so quick because y'all got 5 minutes, so we have to shove greatness into like 5 minutes. Why? But the slow progression, or fast, slow, quick, fast, of her awakening, and Lestat also just he's already mad. The way, first of all, I love that Armand was a piece of moldy bread. Oh, they can give Armand hell. I love that. But to actually like draw him in and drawing like the way that they were kind of in sync in a way, to where she's calming in a way in all this greatness, and she's powerful, but low key all Lestat sees is another mom vessel. Another situation, all of this infatuation that just grows closer and closer, and we grip it and bite that ass, and he's suspended in air for I think what he says 4 days. He was up there up until, of course, Marius comes and reads him his rights about awakening her, and it's going to take me ages to get her back down again. But this also gives Lestat his validation for, I have the blood of Akasha in me. But not just the all-powerful Akasha. No, there's a certain power in this. When she said, I am the answer, and this rage, and it's like it's something that's dormant but always there, up until the point that I could do something like drop Louis from space. It's something that I love, but also something that I hate about myself, because it pushes me to do some of the worst things. But it's great to have that power. And I'm gonna say I got the blood of Akasha every 5 seconds because it's great in its glory. But is it the best thing if it could push you to do something like that, and some of the worst things that you've done since we met you? But this was wonderful. Like I hate the show for doing the wrong things at the wrong time and spending time in the wrong places. If you ever wanted to give an abundance of time anywhere, even if she was just sleeping, it could have been here. Ashley.
So good. Sheila looked great. The monologue, if they could have turned the background down just a little bit, because I had to run it back and do subtitles. I'm like, let us hear what the lady is saying. It's so powerful and so good. But the monologue is great because we're getting so much information in that. And again, it's a creative direction. And it gets indulgent at a point when really you just need to tell the damn story. We need to hear it what she's saying, because she's telling her whole backstory. She's talking about how she was murdered, how she was killed, how she didn't understand. She's calling about Amel, who was clearly the person who's inhabiting her body. There's so many important things that are being discussed in her monologue. And finally, I am she, I am her. I was like, yeah, you are. And dangling him like a yo-yo up there, I got my life, because I've been up here for hours. Can you do something, Marius? And Marius is like, I told you, what did you do? But even Lestat playing with her as far as, oh yeah, so yeah, you look kind of you look kind of good, girl. You want to take some of this? Next thing I know, she's standing behind him. I thought that she looked incredible. I thought her presence on screen was felt. I think Sheila showed up. And I think it's always a special note to the actress. First of all, Sam Reid gushes over her. He's like, I've known Sheila for years and she's that one. And I'm just glad now the world is getting to see her fully. But then also the fact that they all came to set to watch her performance. Like, they said they weren't even shooting that day that she was called in. I think it was just her and Lestat. But the rest of the cast came just to watch because she's such a force. And I love that. I loved her approach. Like I said, I think some artistic choices just in, like I said, just in her communication and monologue, I think it would have gone a long way for everyone to be able to hear it clearly. But I thought it was an excellent scene. I thought the chemistry she has with Lestat is incredible. And I want to know more about Akasha and Keel. And I want to know what happened in Egypt and like this opens up a whole new world for us that I hope we really, really get to explore. And honestly, if I'm Lestat, I'm bragging too. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. I'm part of her. Absolutely. Yes. I'm telling the world I have Akasha's blood in me as well. Because play with who? Play with somebody else. I loved it.
I love this scoop. I was so mad that I had to cut them captions on because I'm not a caption girl, but it was blaring. I was like, why would you choose this moment when we're getting, and she's speaking. So she was fast forwarding on her speaking. I was like, hold on. And then you turn on that loud ass music. I feel like she made it her own because a lot of people were just watching to compare her to Aaliyah. This is a completely different Akasha. I enjoyed it. Dumb.
Yeah, she proved herself and she did what she needed to do, because all up until she showed up, I was like, "Where's Aaliyah at?" And I was gonna call her Aaliyah until she shed that skin, and she did it. She did it. No more Aaliyah. This is Akasha. This is something new, and this is something great. But imagine, just imagine, this could have been, it should have been 2 episodes, because imagine if we see Lestat get hired for this internship, and he is working and trying to figure it out, and it's supposed to be 10 years, so he's going through it, and he's playing music, and by the end of it, like, she isn't moving at all, and by the end of the episode, the last thing we see is her finger tapping, and that's the end of the episode. Oh my God, this is the best show on TV right now. Oh my goodness, Vampire Diary, Interview with a Vampire is back. This would have been amazing, but it was so rushed that at first it was a little silly to me. Like, she was propped up a little bit and she was tapping. I was like, it's not giving the state, it's not giving the gravitas and the weight that I felt like it should have. And so because it was just so rushed. And then 2 seconds later, she's sitting upright. And I was just like, okay. But everybody, as far as the actors and the makeup artists and the set design, all of this looked great, and all of it was well acted and well performed. I just wish it wasn't a TikTok time play. I just wish it was a full length episode, not TikTok. That's all.
Unfortunately, not a TikTok though. Thank you so much for the super chat. Akasha looked awesome, beautiful, and frightening. She did. It was great. See?
This was my favorite part of the episode. I said it before, I'll say it again. Outside of the scenes with Louis, the flashbacks are the best parts of these episodes. I really wish we get like a whole flashback episode. But I can only imagine how daunting it must have been to take this role of Akasha, which has notoriously been Aaliyah's role. Like, everyone loved Aaliyah as that character, and for her to come in and have to fill like those shoes, I'm sure it's big shoes to fill. And I don't envy any like actor who has to come in and do that, but she did such a phenomenal job. Like she made the character her own, and just these few scenes that we've had her in, specifically in this scene when she gets her monologue. And I too wish that they would have turned down some of that extra noise in the background. Like even like Mars, if you don't shut the hell up so I can hear what Akasha's saying. Like I'm trying to hear what is going on here, because it was so compelling. And yeah, just shout out to all the actors in the series, because they are really like doing the thing as they do every season. Because this isn't the first time the acting has been, above and beyond S tier. But the casting director, shout out to them as well, because they've repeatedly picked such great actors that can take on these roles, and it was amazing. This was my favorite, honestly, probably my favorite scene in the whole episode. So yeah, very well done.
Thank you guys so much for the jewels. I have to go look and see what them jewels mean. But thank you for the jewels. I'm really mad that I can't put those on the screen. Now, by the time we get to the ending of the episode, Child's Play over here is doing the most. We have Larry. Larry's feeling away. I'm the worst musician in the band. Lestat has been on my neck since he came across the street and broke my guitar down and replaced it the next morning. You know what? Y'all can have it. So you want us to do everything. You know, I could just no. I'm just gonna go. Okay, I'm just gonna quit. Child, we barely down in the subway before a fan. Oh my God, it's you and Lestat and how and the music and what's next. Yeah, I don't think I'm in the band anymore. I'm not. He couldn't wait to roll up. This just seems so small in the grander scheme of the Great Conversion. I was like, what are you doing, Armand? What are you doing? What is your plan? Because if your plan is to rest and have him walk out and death by train, it's like, well, maybe if I break up the band or make them think whatever, the music will stop. Like, is this the best you can do, liar? This is so poor. This was such a poor attempt. I have been waiting, like I said, with the other band member when he was at the AA. I was like, what's his plan? Like, what are the wheels turning? You showing up on the tour bus with your 12 steps and your apologies, and are you trying to get an angle? Like, what are you going to do with this band member who was all, well, no, and we're back, and you got to keep going, and Lestat is just always, but we're on the precipice of greatness type energy. He said, I'm sick of Lestat's ass. I'm just sick of all of this. I'm never going to be good enough. I just want to quit. And you have him rest and walk out. For what? For the band to feel some type of way, or this just felt like nothing. Like you're not fixing or changing anything. And I don't think he understood the assignment. And you took this life to do what? He's just a gremlin. Like every time I try to feel sorry for your little rotten ass, you go do something just as pathetic that's not justified and poorly. It won't change anything. This isn't going to hiccup anything. If anything, they're going to try to go even harder and even stronger, because now we have to do it because we lost someone. Like, are they supposed to maybe think, because I think I saw something that was like, yeah, I think Armand is trying to set Lestat up. Like, oh, he was so mad and disgruntled that he walked away from the band that he went and killed him, and maybe the band will turn on him and not make the music. The band is not essential to the Great Conversion in this music being just... It's not. It's all Lestat. Unless you were going to get Lestat to rest and walk out here, you did nothing, you little Grinch. Ashley,
But I think it is. I don't know if this music is going to be like entrancing or whatever, but it's definitely for the vamps, and it's definitely supposed to be like the vehicle that's going to bring on.
But not the band,
chaos.
though. Like the band?
Well, I mean, and that's the part that I kind of like the discourse around, like, what are you willing to sacrifice for your dream, right? And so how all of the band, other than Larry, were slice me open, turn me right now. I'm ready to be great. I want to be somebody. And Larry actually taking a stand, which was interesting because a couple weeks ago, his brother is the one who walked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm taking this choice. Honestly, in the subway, I was honestly hoping that when old girl was like, I love the band, but I was hoping he was going to say like, man, I'm going solo. I'm going to do my own thing. Like I was like hoping that. I don't know why I was thinking that, because the little gremlin, when he pops up, it's chaos and calamity. I think that, again, Armand is playing the long game, and I think this is about Larry's brother. I think this is about that was who was in the AA or whatever meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one he's trying to cozy up to build whatever relationship, to exact whatever chaos he wants to ensue. The interesting thing about Armand is that even with the disparity with his maker, and his maker basically letting him think he was dead all this time, is that he's still following those beliefs, right? Like, no, we are not about the great conversion. We don't need to create any more vampires. We know that's going to end. He's faithful to whatever that idea is, and so I figure he's going to be kind of the roadblock to Gabriella's ultimate plan. And it really just feels, and I hate that, but Lestat is going to continue to be a pawn in it. But that's all I saw in this. I was like, we don't care about Larry, like Larry on the train tracks, but the gremlin always has an end game. So I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out, but we know he doesn't do anything for no reason. This is definitely strategic in some way. And it's not just about Lestat. I think Armand has a bigger calling right now that's going on.
Because this is just like, yeah, now I can cause a little distinction in the band and the brother will be mad and maybe they won't release that Failures Part 2. It's like, what?
And shout out to Asad, because he looked good too. As much as I talk about the gremlin, he's so pretty. He really, really is. And I can't even be mad all the time at him, but I will for the sake of the live.
That's brown sugar. Dom?
I'm glad Ashley went first because I thought that this was the same character that quit the band the first time. So I was like, because I was thinking, well, why didn't, if my mom wanted to break up the band, he should have killed after he quit the band, after Lestat fired him and then made him kill himself. That would have broke up the band. That band would have like, oh no, and they would have all blamed Lestat, and that would have been it. But I don't know what the end game here, especially now that I know that it's a different white man. I don't understand what the plan is, but he is moving chess pieces around. I mean, he's moving this chess piece around. He's moving the brother into place. He's moving Daniel Malloy into place. Armand out here working now. He working in his little Machiavellian machinations. So I don't know that it'll be worth it. It's not going to be worth that eye he lose. So I'm not sure what all of this is supposed to coalesce into. I wish that Akasha was just the end of the episode. I wish the episode would just ended on her monologue. I did not need this. I did not need the blood oath. I did not even know who this was. I thought it was the other one. So I was just like, you could have told me this off screen. I don't care.
I think that's the bad thing, because they've been so insignificant. They want not just what Armand is trying to do, but Larry's death to matter, and unfortunately, it just doesn't. See,
you know what? The blood oath was crazy because one person they slashed the hand. I was like, that's crazy, but okay. Then the next guy, he gonna slash the wrist. Like, come on now, like let's be reasonable here. What if Lestat says no? Then you just SOL. That's crazy work. But I don't know why Armand. Actually, I do know why. Like I said before, it was the diss track. If Lestat did not release that diss track, we would not be here today. Larry would be here today if it wasn't for that diss track. But no, it was wild, and I feel as if Armand, he can't. At least he's showing himself to just he just can't get right, man. I don't know what it is. I want to sympathize with him. Like sometimes I was feeling bad for him the other episode when he was, having those intense conversations with himself and trying to apologize. But now it's getting harder and harder to be on his side. Him telling Larry, who was already on the brink, right? Larry didn't seem like he was, had a lot to live for, if we're being honest. And for him to just push him over the edge, theoretically, is wild. To what end, right? Why?
Theoretically, literally.
All right, he did all but physically forced him over there, and yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, man. But Armand, he's just so the way he is.
Something, see, because if it's like, oh, all of this happened and I made him rest and the brothers met and that LP still dropped, like I should hope you have more going on than this.
It's going to have to be down to the laws. I think that's what it is. Like you cannot suffer a human to live after they know about the vampires. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. Is he's going to say,
I
oh
don't
yeah,
know.
the laws he knew about vampires, so he has to die.
It
And
felt
that's-
like he knew he did this, and he was like, "Yeah, Daniel, you know that's his mama, right? Like that's enough to stop the great conversion, ain't it?" No, I think you need to be doing a little bit more of mine.
Yeah, because you giving Daniel a little piece of gossip and making a rock band member fall off the wagon, it don't seem like
Small.
the House of Cards toppling. Like I'm like, so a band member is gonna start getting high and drunk again. Oh, batten down the hatches. I don't see.
Thank you, Roses. But Akasha's monologue was so good, and why must she be kept? Like it was very good. I wish that it was clear and we didn't feel the need to keep all that other background noise. Thanks so much for the super chat. Sheila is the historical version of Akasha, and Aaliyah is the Hollywood biopic version of the character. Both actresses are bewitching in the role. Yes, they are.
That's
I
good.
love it. It's good. But I like that there's separation and there's no need to compare. They're both really great. Armand is just why you keep for Armand? She's just an empathetic person. Besides the Akasha scene, this was good. Aside, Armand was acting. Gaze is playing. Okay, I love the villain, but it needs to be with purpose. I thought she was capable again. It needs to be with purpose. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like this is gonna knock down the empire. I don't know. Okay, way to go, Armand. You killed an innocent person for no damn reason. Just I don't know, but still cute, still a cutie pie. But see, any predictions for the next episode?
Yeah, I want to see some more Akasha. I can't wait for some more flashbacks. Those are my bread and butter of this series so far in this show, or at least this season. And yeah, more Louis. That's what I want to see. That's who I come to see. It's called the Vampire Lestat, but it need to be called the Vampire Louis because that's why I show up and tune in every week. So very excited for more of that.
See, there will be more than enough time for Louis to descend further into his.
They both crazy. They're both crazy, but Lestat will actually kill you. So that's the difference.
Dom, any predictions for the next episode?
I'm hoping more Akasha lift Gabriella, and hopefully some coalescing of this great conversion. And I want all the setup in this episode. Give me all the setup so the final episode can just be all payoff. Because I want the final episode to be an hour and 15 minutes of I'm glued to the screen and everything's happening and all the reveals and Akasha's walking down Main Street. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want in the final episode. So just don't give me all the setup, connect all the dots, and let's stop playing around. Episode 6 is when it's game time. Lock in and do all this. We all out in space. Let's start zeroing in. But yeah, that's all.
Ashley?
Yeah, it's the penultimate episode. Y'all better come and do something and tie in some of these stories that you started back when we were in Toledo and Detroit and all that. Come on through. Rose's Bud. If I see a Mayfair over here, I'm gonna riot. I don't want to see none of the Mayfairs. Bring out a different witch. If I see that big blue-eyed heifer come over here, I'm going to be through. All right. But y'all know I don't have no predictions. I have no clue what to expect. I would love to see more Akasha. I would honestly love to see more of the Gremlin. I was highly entertained. I really want to see what's going to happen with Daniel. I want to see what the tragedies are going to be because I know we're going to lose some people. I'm ready to see them be lost next episode.
I don't have any predictions. I've learned to keep my predictions to myself for this show because you just never know. Like, I would love to have more Akasha, but it feels like with Akasha, it's like leave them wanting more. Are we going to get a little bit of her? So maybe rolling into another season, like, oh, y'all definitely going to come back, right? Y'all like that teaser, didn't you? Meanwhile, she's like the greatest. So we're just going to have to wait. Other than that, Louis, shit or get off the pot. Come on. Everybody just come on. Everybody just come on around the corner. come on around for mama. But y'all, that was the episode. See, I'm going to come to you first, let the people know what you got going on and where they need to be to come and check you out.
All right. So thanks for inviting me on tonight. My name is See the Superior. My channel is See the Superior. And we're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're talking about X-Men 97 Season 2 on my channel coming up this week. Also, My Adventures with Superman. We're talking about that. And later this month, I do a book club discussion once a month with a couple of my friends. And we're going to be doing Silence of the Lambs to go along with our theme of the book that inspired the movie. So if you enjoy books and you enjoy like comic book stuff and you enjoy, more things like that, please subscribe to my channel, See the Superior.
Thank you, C. Done.
Yo, took a little break off to be a parent for a while, but I'm back. And we doing all things sci-fi over here at Cinematic Pain. We gonna catching up on Silo. So Silo season 3 is out. We're gonna talk about Silo. I'm still holding on to Cape Fear. We're gonna finish Cape Fear out strong. So we're still doing Cape Fear. And it was something else sci-fi that we doing. I'm gonna do My Adventures with Superman. I'm gonna talk about that. And just come on over. Sci-fi, drama, and everything is everything. Come on over to Cinematic Bang.
Thank you, Dom. That's y'all saying some Mayfair, which is really coming in the chat.
Hey, Betty.
Ashley.
Oh my gosh. Hey y'all. I'm all moved in now. I'm not all unpacked, but I am all moved in now. So content will be back. House of the Dragon will be back. Rhaenyra don't need to be queen. Y'all, my allegiance have shifted, and I just want to put that out there before I drop these videos and upset the masses. All right. But also I have been watching X-Men 97. I love the first 3 episodes, so I might be talking about that. But just be on the lookout. Content is coming now that I'm settled and I have at least the office set up right now. But yeah, thank y'all for coming through, and thank you so much for supporting the live tonight. We appreciate that so much.
Yeah, we like jewelry, jewels, trophies.
Gems. Yeah.
Thank you. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. We appreciate you, and we will definitely see you next time with more lives and more content. Have a good night, y'all.
Hey.
Don't leave your girl around me. True play for real. That's for real. You baby.